Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's that time again from the sidelines, episode 154. We are sans guest tonight, which means no guest. But we got the boys. We got some fun stuff to talk about. It was 4th of July. It was the birthday of our great country. And, well, these boys blew some shit up. So let's bring them on in. I'll just go to the guys next to me tonight. Brando, Baird. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good. Look, we still have all 10 digits. Thank God. There's a lot of shit that we lit off, but yeah, no, it was horror stories. I thought we were gonna do some illegal shit. We did not. We're law-abiding citizens. Thankfully, we did not add to the fires in Fresno. That through all the fires I saw driving up, that
didn't add to the population or subtract to the population. So that's good.
Exactly. So yeah. So it was a success.
Well, yeah. Stephen Hatch, you were the one who hosted that party. How was it down there for you guys in Fresno?
Dude, let me just say, biggest by far. It was so much fun. And story we're going to get into later is me and Brando literally instead of, starting a fire, we saved someone's house. We saved it. I'm grateful.
Damn, boys.
Let me just say.
Salute to you guys.
Appreciate
it. I'll give you some angel noises for that. It's very angelic
of you.
And
so I'm excited to get into this episode and talk about what happened.
All right, well, hell yeah. Let's do that by first talking about our sponsors, put the show on the air, and help us be here. So let's talk about number one, NECTR Energy, NECTR.energy. That's where you're going to head over to get some more information about this product. We got a buy two, get one free code with them, MafiaProductions, all one word. You can check out their NECTR pucks, where they also have some different versions of this now, so a little bit higher caffeine strength. They also have the NECTR Zero. There's some cool stuff coming out from them, as well as some of their brain supplements that they got on the website as well. So go, feel free, go check it out if you haven't in a little bit. They've got some new shit over there for you. And I always recommend Atomic Apple or Glacier Green. Those are my two favorite. One more time, MafiaProductions, all one word. Buy two, get one free at nectar.energy. Next up, we got weltsclothing.com. Weltsclothing.com, you guys know about them. They dropped a whole bunch of stuff last week for the Welts Wednesday, which kind of coincided with 4th of July. So there's a lot of patriotic gear. We love seeing that. But if you want to get even that beautiful strap right there. If you want to get more information on the stuff that they have all year round, it's always listed on their website, weltsclothing.com. And as I just mentioned there, the first Wednesday of every month is Welts Wednesday when they do a drop. Limited edition stuff. You never know what it's going to be. It could be a strap like Brando's showing right now. Could be, undershirt. Could be a jersey. Could be, some headbands and stuff. They've always got different and interesting things over on the site, weltsclothing.com. Use code FTS when you're signing out, when you're checking out over there on their website. Next up, last but not least, Hormesis Paintball. You guys know them. We all love them. They do great things in the sport. They create some cool headwear and headband attire. But also, they just do cool things like the Hormesis Productions, the 1v1s. So yeah, go support them. Go let them know we sent you over their way. We appreciate Alex Frazier over there for partnering up with us and giving us some cool stuff to give away to our Patreon members, which this month we're giving away a whole Hormesis barrel kit. So sign up. You have a chance for $6 to win a whole Hormesis barrel kit. You also have the chance to watch all of our post shows, 30-minute bonus show that's only behind the paywall, as well as, you get access to the content early. There's no ads in it. It's the premier experience and the premier way to go. So go head over to patreon.com/mafia_productions. Make sure you get signed up today. Make sure you're paid through the whole entire month. And at the first show in August, we will be giving away a barrel kit, for $6 to someone. It's a pretty damn good deal if you ask me.
Yeah. That's a banger deal.
That's crazy. I think a friend of mine named Rando Baird might have to sign up again. And yeah.
So. I will be doing ID checks on accounts, all right? Employees of the show cannot win giveaways from the show. This has been mentioned multiple times.
And not very many people are giving away something as high caliber as that. And this is a thing where when some of the people that first came onto the team, I told them, dude, what kind of semi-professional are you if you don't have a barrel kit? That is one thing that
That's
every
true.
competitive paintball player needs to add to their arsenal, and you can win one for $6 if you sign up for the Patreon.
You can win one, and not just any one, a limited edition Hormesis laser engraved barrel kit. This thing is beautiful. If I had it on that hand right now, I'd show you. Maybe I'll show you later on in the show. But yeah, guys, please go sign up. Well, thank you to our sponsors, Hormesis Paintball, for giving us the product that we can use to give back to the people who are supporting us. Shout out Mike Ryan. He won a couple headbands last time. And it's because the odds are so low. His name came up twice, so congratulations, man. But yeah, boys, let's start to get into it. Where do we start tonight? I guess, do we want to just jump right into fourth talk?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always down.
4th of July talk? Well, all right, you guys can take it away. I had a little bit of stuff that I did on 4th of July. I guess real quick I can insert this. If you haven't been paying attention to national news, Central Texas has been dealing with some crazy flooding and crazy rain that's been happening for like the last week at this point. Personally, one of my coworkers from Tetherball Media Academy is actually at the epicenter of the floods doing, kind of really good boots on the ground content. One of the things I wanted to, give him kind of credit for is he wasn't just there documenting. He was helping out search and rescue crews. He was clearing debris from the roads. He was helping people like look through their, homes for personal belongings and stuff that was scattered about. Gary Faust, Street Gonzo is what he is on all the social medias and stuff if you're interested in seeing some of the content. But yeah, boots on the ground. I'll tell you this, there's no political bias with that man. He tells the truth and only the truth. That is the thing that he seeks out most in the world. He's an interesting feller, to say the least, but and if you see him, you'll understand what I mean. But at the same time, he does some great stuff. So he's handling the Texas flood stuff for Tetherball Media Academy and doing some cool, not cool content, but very informative and just very eye-opening content. So because of that, 4th of July really didn't happen here in Texas. It was rained out in most places, but you guys had a little better weather, and fared a little better. So how did your guys' 4th go?
Well, let me just say, so every year I try to host something at my house, I try to give it the vibe where it's like The Sandlot, but obviously we're grown up, where,
I need to watch that movie again.
Right, just like in the movie, there was one night game every year because the fireworks would illuminate the field, right? I want that kind of vibe where it's a little bit more stressful for me because I'm putting on this whole show, but I want everybody else to be able to come over, kick off their shoes, have a great time, enjoy some food, and just be a patriot of this great country that we all love, right? So it feels...
Papa Hatch gonna take care of everybody.
I was trying. But let me just say, so decent surprise. Logan showed up out of nowhere.
Let's go.
Yep, Logan and Caden. Like, I wasn't even ready yet. Like, I told everybody, I said, yo, 6 or later, right? Bro, it's like 3:45 and this guy's showing up in my house and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't even done my mustache yet, bro. So it was absolutely awesome seeing my boy Logan, right? As much shit as we talk on that guy, he is a friend that I truly do cherish, right? And so him and Caden, right, they brought their girls and it was just a great family thing, right? Brando was there, Papa Cedar and his wife were there. Paulie Clava was there, and just a lot of my local people that I have, built a friendship with around me locally. So it was just a great experience where, dude, we had this huge circle in my backyard, and we are just shooting the shit. It is just so much fun. People are telling their stories. Different people have the floor of like these stories that they're telling, and it was just absolutely a fantastic environment. That was electric with patriotism. And
I know we have some international viewers. Suck on that. We got patriotism over here.
Oh yeah, dude. You won the most recent World War. What do you got on us?
2-0.
Let's hope the last World War.
But hey, all I'm saying is, it feels good to be an American, right? And now this 4th of July was just one of those that it was just different. It felt.
What were you gonna say, Brando?
Yeah, thank you.
Logan. So I talked to him maybe a month and a half ago or so, and he came up with this idea of it. He was like, hey, I'm gonna tell Hatch no, I'm gonna surprise him. Caden and I are driving together. Caden will be in on it and everything. I was all right, cool. Like, I'm down for it. Yeah, I won't say anything. I know this. And, Hatch has asked me several times, hey, do you think Logan's going to come? I was like, I have no idea, honestly. I don't know. I'm completely lying.
Fucking liar.
Knowing that he was going to show up. And, yeah, I don't know. I'm glad he did. I texted him the night before and the morning of, like, motherfucker, you better not back out, bitch. You better come. Then when I saw, like, he had a story on with the DMG shirt, I was like, yeah, he for sure coming.
He's coming. That's required attire around the Hatch property.
And because the thing is, I remember talking 2 days before with my girlfriend, and I'm like, dude, I haven't lost complete faith. Like, I have 1%. I remember saying this vividly. I said, I have 1% hope that he'll make it. There's a 1% chance, always. And sure as shit, baby, you always bank on that 1%. Right? It feels good. And
Gambler's fallacy. It was due for a hit.
Exactly. Yep. Hey, if it's 18, hit it. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't do that. Please don't. This man knows nothing about basic strategy and blackjack. Do not listen to him.
But it was just overall good. The backyard environment was fantastic. People are having some good. My normal food spot, dude, was closed, so I'm low key upset about that. Right.
Oh, that's rough.
And usually the same thing every single time. But I just switched up this year. So I went to what
was the food? Like what ethnicity?
Mexican.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Sheesh. I didn't even think of that. Right.
The big beautiful bill is already stepping into effect.
Right. Damn. Got him.
I hate that bill.
I am feeling it firsthand.
Yes, you are.
Right, so we went to a trusted Italian restaurant and got some good old pizza. And dude, let me tell you, they put extra love in that pizza, so it felt good.
That pizza was fucking good.
Super.
That
good,
works.
right?
1 bite score. What would you guys give it?
1 bite score. This one would be pretty high for me, if I'm being honest. I'd probably say like 8.3.
8.3. Damn.
Pretty
I had
high
7
for me.
I had 7.3 in my mind.
7.3.
Yeah,
and that's still
so,
a reasonable score.
Maybe that's Clovis biased. Because
Yeah,
that's like the local spot where it's like people would go in high school, where it's like that was like the pizza place you went to in high school.
A little nostalgia biased. I see what you're saying.
Absolutely, 100%.
That happens.
So I probably do have a little bit of bias at that. But,
that happens for sure.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So 4th, did you guys get into any fireworks or anything? Or
oh hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, we did. I had this. I mean, if you guys saw last week's episode, if you didn't, go check it out. Make sure you click that before you see this one.
The stockpile behind him,
dude, had a huge arsenal of fireworks. Right, and
that wasn't even all of them.
Yeah, that wasn't even all of them. Right,
Jesus.
I went back and I was calling it the Elden Ring play, and I was like, bro, I'm going back to this shop and I'm clearing them out. About like 12 of them. About like 12 of these sword fireworks. Right, they're basically giant sparklers, but they looked like a sword. So fuck you. Right, it was awesome. Right, so I cleared them out. Got as many swords as I could, and. Maybe like 15 minutes into the show, I was like, all right, boys, let's bring them out. Right? As soon as it started getting really dark, we got a blowtorch. We all like, all right, make sure we touch the tips. Make sure you touch tips.
Like the Knights of the Round Table.
Yep. And hit it real quick with the blowtorch. And dude, it was just, it was awesome because I felt like a kid again with the sparkler.
Yeah.
With the sparkler of all things, dude. It was just a feeling that I have not had in a long, long time.
So, I mean, I grew up in California, so obviously I didn't have access to the amazing fireworks. There was a couple years that we had, some cool stuff. But, yeah, one of my favorite fireworks, honestly, is it's the little ground balloons, the ones that, like, spin on the ground. Well, what's cool about them, one of the things that I would always do, if you light it in your hand, wait just a half a second so the fuse kind of dies down, and then chuck it into the air. Now it's spinning as it comes down, and it'll bounce around and do all bunch of things. They're waterproof. So if you light it and then throw it into like a lake or something that you have nearby you, or like a private pond that you're at where you're doing a lot of crazy fireworks at, they'll still go off under the water and spin and, sound all crazy and cool because all the, gases are coming up and the bubbles are forming. So yeah, no, those are personal little nostalgia of mine. And yeah, they're not a very big or crazy firework, but they're still pretty cool. Same thing with firecrackers, by the way. You can light those fuckers and drop them in water and
hell yeah, fucking sick. Dude, don't you just love being an American? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but, yeah, I do.
One special thing that I like to do with the fireworks is when I go shopping for them, I try to match personality to a firework, right? I try to get everybody their own firework, right? So I got Michelle, right? She told me she's never lit a firework, and I was like, we got to change that. So I got her a very special firework where it was a camera.
Yeah.
Right? It was pretty sick, right? And I'm like, hey, Michelle, make sure it's facing towards the crowd, right, when you light it. And fucking doing this super sick stuff, shooting everything, right? And now, all of a sudden, it starts strobing. The camera starts taking photos, Ryan.
Yeah.
The
Oh my
camera
God.
starts taking photos.
It's like a flash powder one. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, out of nowhere, right? So, and I mean, Brando just dropped in our little Instagram group chat that we got, Ryan. So if you want to take a quick little peep at that, it was absolutely awesome, right? I try to get, I know Cedar's the green man, so I try to get him like a toxic waste, you know. Right, I tried to get Paul like a giant gorilla one because he was like, I think he was like Fred Flintstone or something. So I was like, yeah, you know,
that's funny. Yeah, so another fun trick that you can do, those little like strobe flashing like fireworks that they have. Brandon just dropped out. Well, gonna have to have a new track for him. The little strobe fireworks, the little like, you know, you light them off and then they just kind of and like be really bright. If you take a whole pack of those, tie all the fuses together, and then light those off, it's really fucking bright, man.
Oh, dude,
I've definitely done that before.
And the thing is, what we like to do is, dude, my best friend.
Brando's going through it right now.
My best friend JB, he loves to like be. It's dangerous, but we love doing it. Like some kind of alchemist, like. Putting fireworks together to like make these crazy fucking cool
equivalent
things,
exchange,
right?
Yes,
exactly, right. And we have this guy that I love, my mentor, Mr. Hillis, right? He comes over and he always brings some kind of contraption to blow shit up with. Welcome, Brando. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Brandon's back.
And
yes, Hatch. I just made an anime reference. There you go, buddy.
Hey, salute to you, brother. Thank you for your service. Right. But. It felt so nostalgic because I just had so many chairs in the front. Every single one of them is filled, right? In the front yard. I live on a corner, right? So I have this whole elbow of like doing like a curve of fireworks. And every time I look back, dude, I would just seeing just nothing but smiles, everybody having a good time, everybody laughing, right? And it's cool because, I mean, one thing that's important to me is the fact that all of the girlfriends are getting along. That is one thing that is so important to me because, dude, if anybody knows when something like that happens where you get a hiccup, bro, it makes it hard on the guys tenfold because you got to hear about it, right? And
yeah,
so
true.
it was absolutely just an ecstatic environment that I am proud and genuinely. I don't know if I'm stroking my ego, but it's like I feel good and I feel confident that I threw a good party, right? It was just a great American patriot goodness. And okay,
it's getting a little jerk offy now.
Yeah, sorry. For sure.
But yeah, no, that's good to hear, man. I mean, that was like, I've always loved fireworks growing up, and so like I would always try to put on little shows and stuff with like, you know, the little bit of funding I had from my parents. And yeah, no, there's something to that. It was definitely one of the things I missed about like this year is just not really being able to. I'm in an apartment, so like I don't have space to light off fireworks, and you know, there wasn't many parties or things happening just because the weather and everything that was coming down out here. So yeah, it was a little bit of a bummer fourth, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
I guess,
you know,
speaking of that,
if you would have had more notice, you would have come to this one. I know
yeah, potentially. But the one thing that sucked with all the flooding is all the insects have come out like crazy because now they're getting pushed out of their spot. And the studio I work at is down south, kind of where a lot more of this happened. It wasn't affected as much, but we had probably, I don't know, 40 or 50 flies and like 100 gnats just in the office the other day. It was just miserable. It was fucking like we were doing the sports show and everyone was just fucking batting the air and like trying to get them away from themselves. So yeah, no, it's been kind of rough down here in Texas for the last little bit. I guess one thing I did do on 4th of July was took myself to the movies. First time I've done that in quite a while. There really hasn't been many like movies out that have like drawn me to wanting to go, you know, spend some money and get really expensive popcorn. But there was one that came out. It was the Formula One movie. If if you've been watching the show for a while on video, you know, at my old setup, I used to have a Formula One flag that hang behind me. I've been watching the sport since like around 2017 or so. Found some Australian YouTubers who were talking about it, and I was like, well, that's pretty cool. Let's look into that thing. I know most people here probably aren't going to be super invested into it. So quick little recap. It's a good movie. It's, if you're like a diehard Formula One fan and you can't understand Hollywoodization of stuff, you might have some problems with it. But it's a movie produced by Jerry Bruckheimer with a soundtrack by Hans Zimmer. It looks and sounds beautiful. Need I say more? And for a movie like this, they hit the mark. All the actors are actually driving the cars on a real track. Like, it's that visceral type of action. They put the mini IMAX cameras that were developed for the Top Gun 2 into the cockpit. Yeah, I guess cockpit of these F2 cars that they made up to look like F1 cars. It's good. I do recommend people to go actually watch it in a theater. If you see it on a big screen with good 7.1 Dolby surround sound, it's worth it. There's plenty of jokes in there that I could tell I was the only F1 fan in my theater, because I was laughing at hysterically and no one else, got the little reference or the nod. There is one kind of off the cuff joke halfway through where they introduce you to this character, and one of the first things he said is like, oh yeah, I've never really been into Formula One, but I binge watched Drive to Survive, and it got me really into it. Well, that's a big critique that a lot of older Formula One fans have, is this new generation of fans who don't really know anything about the sport, but they watched a Netflix show, and so now they feel like they know everything. My sister-in-law is one of those people, and it's funny to try and talk to her because she is just very new gen. But yeah, Formula One, if you have no concept of it, it's the most premier expensive race cars in the world on a track, and they're fucking insane. Formula One drivers, they constantly are dealing with G-forces of 2 to 3 Gs as they're going around turns, because they're going in a 160 mile an hour car that's doing a hairpin turn essentially. The downforce of those cars, the power of those cars is just absolutely insane. And yeah, so I recommend people to go check it out. It's a Brad Pitt movie. It's pretty good. The love interest in it is pretty hot, so that's cool too. You got that, and yeah, so it was a bit of fun.
Wait, Ryan's really, I haven't seen Drive to Survive. Is when you were talking about like the downforce of the turns and stuff, what played in my mind was the fighter pilots that simulate their flight.
G-force.
Their flight, their flight, right? Do they do it in F1 as well? If so, like, I would assume.
Oh, are you talking about like the Blue Angels who do? They do like the one of the things they do before every flight is they sit around like a conference table and like visualize the whole entire flight pattern that they're gonna do.
Yeah.
So fun fact: second to fighter pilots, F1 drivers deal with more G-forces than like any other athlete or contender in the world. Even in other moto racing categories, it's just because those cars. I swear to God, you're going 120 miles an hour through a corner. Like it plants to the ground. It doesn't move. And so the balls on all the 20 drivers who get into those things every week is just massive. But yeah, it's lucky there hasn't been a death in Formula One since about 2014, 2015. One of the guys who's racing in the series now, his cousin actually died in a pretty bad crash at Spa. And then there was a death, I want to say like around 2020, 2021 in the F2 category, which is like the one that's just right below them. So it is dangerous. It still does happen, even with all the great advances we have in technology and stuff. And when a car is going that fast and it hits another car, there's just shit that happens. Or
even if it just hits something that's sitting still, right, going that fast, right?
Well,
that is absolutely insane. I've seen some of the footage of like them like barely clipping something, and it's like, dude, the time to recover is almost zero.
There's none, yeah.
Right, you that is one of the most premium levels of athlete there is.
Yeah, their reaction times are insane. And even with
sitting on their ass behind a car, but dude, that is a different level of racing.
The other thing you got to think about, there is no power braking in those cars. So when they are going to hit the brake, it is all their leg strength, and it's anywhere from like 120 kilograms to like 200 kilograms they have to push through that pedal. That is a lot of fucking leg strength for 50 laps to be doing that constantly over and over. But yeah, no, it's an incredibly interesting thing. What was I gonna say? The one of the like biggest crashes recently was Romain Grosjean a couple years ago at the last race of the year. He had a really gnarly crash on the first turn of the race, went into one of the like metal barriers on the side, and it split his car in half. So obviously the fuel came out and instantly ignited on the super hot exhaust and everything. He was in there for about 45 seconds until he was able to free himself and get out. It's quite frankly a miracle that he is still alive today. Yeah, no, and like his hands got burnt the fuck up, but really that's all that his damage was. Like he was pretty fine after it. It's you know, that's really the crazy thing is like the fireproof materials and stuff that we have available today. You know, I mean, literally one of the goats of F1, Ayrton Senna, died in his race car on a Formula One track, and like that's just not something you see that happens anymore today. So it's good. It's become a lot safer. But I will say with this, go watch F1. It was a good movie, and even if you don't know much about the sport, they do a really good job of explaining everything in like a very layman's terms level. So you know you can still pick up and figure out what's going on. But yeah, no. So I had a good time watching that. Went outside and it was raining and miserable.
Dude, some lore about that movie. I actually I've DM'd one of the musical producers on there like way before when he was like, no joke, had like 10,000 on TikTok, and he's like grown his way up to this. Now his music's in the F1 movie. His name's RJ Pazin, bro. I don't know if you guys have ever seen him, but dude, he makes insane guitar riffs.
Dope.
Absolutely insane guitar riffs. And so like I remember like when he had like 10K on TikTok, I'm like, dude, huge fan of your music, right? And he does this thing where he just lets people sample him, right?
Yeah,
and
he's
created such a dope cult following, I would say, of just great music. I love his music for sure, and I definitely want to go see that movie just because his music's in it, low key.
I mean, like I'll say this, it doesn't stand out all that much because like there is a lot of really good music in it, just like from licensed stuff that they use, but as well as like the original score. I mean, like I said, Hans Zimmer is literally one of the best ever to a second to like John Williams when it comes to like cinematic scores. On fire, bro. Yeah. But dude, some of those scenes, you know, when they're on the track and like the subs are going and it's shaking the theater essentially, like it watching this on your TV would not give it, you know, credit to what they put into the movie.
You know, I like that. When we went to go see How to Train Your Dragon, we saw that puppy in IMAX. So I definitely understand the feeling, Ryan. I've
been thinking about going back and watching it in IMAX because I saw it on the biggest screen at like a Cinemark, but you know it wasn't the full IMAX experience. But I know there's a couple in Austin, so it's kind of been on my radar of things I want to try to do.
Have you guys ever done the 4D where it's like the shit like moving your seat and you know like there's mist spraying? Have you guys ever like done anything like that?
I haven't. They had those seats in the auditorium I was in, but I didn't want to pay for it, so I was like, just give me a regular seat.
I'm like, well, dude, if they spray mist, I'm not trying to have my popcorn soaked and be like, oh shit, do my popcorn. You know?
Yeah, that's true. But that is, dude, movie theater popcorn. It's just better, bro. I do love me some popcorn, and I forgot because it's been years, but it's damn good, dude.
There are some popcorn companies that have their flavor movie theater, and I'm like, how?
But how
is it so good?
It's not even
as good as movie theater.
The biggest difference is how it's popped, because it gets like this more kind of lightness than like if you have microwave popcorn or something you make at home. Like it's just better. I don't know how to explain it.
I agree 100%. But that's sick that you went to go see that movie. I definitely want to go see what's it called again?
Just F1, so Formula One.
Just F1. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I definitely want to go see that movie for sure. I mean, there's actually some pretty good movies out. The new Jurassic World. F1.
Yeah, I never really got into the Jurassic World movies.
I think they're getting a little extra with it. It seems like they're getting like some super mutants, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I saw something about Scarlett Johansson's in that movie. It might be in like.
Oh, she is.
I get it. I'm
okay. I'm gonna go watch it now.
I guess I should. Well, like
I like Bryce Dallas Howard better in the 2015 version when she was a redhead like that. God
sure.
Damn.
I have no idea who that is, but yeah.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
Ron Howard's daughter, by the way. You know, one of the greatest directors of all time. It's nepotism. That's why she's there. She's also hot as hell, so it works.
It ain't nepotism if she's that hot, buddy.
All right, that's a fair enough point, Hatch.
But Hatch, have you heard of something about her transforming or
Scarlett Johansson?
going into like a
Does she get into a
fucking
mech?
troll. Look, I'm fucking talking about it, and I'm a goddamn idiot. Like,
What
this
are
shit
you
ain't
talking
fucking real.
about,
Never
bro?
mind. I don't even want to finish it. I sound like a goddamn retard.
No,
like,
Brandon, finish your sentence.
like
Let's
hook,
hear
line,
the
and
retarded
sinker
thing. Come
that
on.
she is turning it. She's like, something happens, and she's slowly turning into a goddamn velociraptor or some shit.
What?
What the fuck? What are they doing in Jurassic World? I'm choosing to believe that's real.
Now I gotta go see it. I gotta go see it just for research purposes for this podcast now. Hey, subscribe to the Patreon, pay for my movie tickets, people. Come on, get a headband, get a barrel kit. Hey, subscribe. We need it, people.
Hatch needs it, it sounds like, after all
You
the
know what I'm
fireworks
saying?
budget. It's the only way he's gonna...
Hey, I got a hookup, but it was not cheap still. But hey, we're about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So what the? She's a
I'm gonna find it.
transgender rapper.
Yeah, find
What the hell,
what,
dude? What
what
is
nonsense
going
you're
on?
spewing, Brando.
I know.
Transspeciest?
I can't believe.
Oh, I like that.
Just bought this shit.
Transspeciest.
Like, this is. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a retard.
Transgendosaurus Rex.
Dude.
God, you just had a perfect Taylor moment right there, brother. You started
I
speaking
know.
and then realized how fucked and retarded it was.
If that is actually in the movie, bro, what is happening?
I'm
Like,
telling you,
what
they
we
have
come
nothing
to?
else to do in that universe. After the original
You know-
Jurassic Park trilogy, they're like, all right, we got to make mutants. And then they did that, and they're like, all right, where do we go from here, guys?
Honestly, dude, ever
Turns out
since
you make Scarlett
science,
Johansson.
once science nerfed the Spinosaurus, bro, I've lost faith. Right? That was so sick to in
Has
Jurassic
science
Park
gone
3.
too far?
For my imagination, absolutely. I would like to think that the Spinosaurus is an absolute beast that would fucking murder a T-Rex. But now
think-
it just seems like some kind of duck thing.
You know, Jurassic Park's or Jurassic World's writers need to stop asking themselves, can they do something? And start asking themselves, should they do something?
There's like, all right, let's just take a page out of Pokemon and just combine shit together with random objects. Put a random letter in front of it and put Rex at the end.
Do you know what one of my, like, the dumbest Pokemon to me is? It's called Wroten.
Facebook link gonna get me hacked? What
R-O-T-O,
is
or...
this?
I don't know how to spell it. It's literally motor backwards, and it's a Pokemon that is a motor.
What the AI? What is this? What am I looking at, Brando?
Dude, I know.
did you say?
I saw it quickly. I sent a link. It was on Facebook that I saw.
God,
and-
you fell for Facebook shit.
Dude,
It says,
I
it says,
know.
oh, the part when she morphed and said, it's Raptor in time.
It's Raptor in time.
I didn't look into it. I
Is
just
it the next
I saw this.
comment? Wait,
I was
now I wanna
this
see
is-
Velociraptor
This
tits.
is dumb.
Comments are so
For the video audience, here's kind of the post he sent us. Brandon, how did you not see that this was fake as fuck, man?
Dude,
Dude, I didn't.
when she said, you're about to get Jurassic kicked. What are these?
God, these comments go hard. I love the part
I'd
where she
still
said
smash.
morphed. I'd still smash. Yeah, a lot of us would.
Raw, next.
Jesus.
Not with that one, Brad. Or Hatch.
Okay.
Not raw. I don't
Yeah.
want a Velociraptor child.
We get Velociraptades or whatever.
Velociraptor these nuts. Well, yeah, boys.
Yep.
So, all right, we're talking about sports stuff a little bit. I know you have a question for us, Hatch, but real quick, I wanted to talk about our favorite Australian runner, the only Australian
Okay.
runner that I follow.
Yep.
Our
Love this
boy
guy.
Connor runs it. Connor Johnson, if you guys are unaware of him, he had his big race last week, and unfortunately, he was pushing for a personal best time, which would have secured him. I think it's called the elite start, which just means like that's the guys who are like competing for number one overall in like a marathon or half marathon. You have to like have a certain amount of time that you've run at a prior event, so then that way at the bigger events you get access to that like elite class. Unfortunately, he did miss his time. He was about a minute and a half short of the time that he needed for that. He still ran a half marathon in 70 minutes, so it's not like he was fucking slouching.
That's quick. That's
yeah,
quick.
Our boy was moving.
Something
Let me
about
see if I can
Connor's running
find. Yeah, they do a good job of
The
that.
fastest kid in my elementary school was named Connor.
So for race day, this is what this man put on his arm and ran the whole entire race with. If you're an audio listener, he has DMG written on his arm right next to his pace watch. So that way, every time he looks down at that, he sees DMG. Dedication makes greatness. Dude, do that anytime you want. You're an honorary man at this point. You're an honorary DMG member. You're striving for great things. Obviously, he was a little bummed out by it. It's never fun to miss out on kind of a goal that you've set for yourself. But I did like this kind of piece of advice I gave him, and I feel like it can relate to a lot of things in life. You don't get on the pro field in one season, but you do get there by never quitting on yourself. And he took that and really was like, oh, damn, like that makes a lot of sense. Anything in life, it's not going to happen in, 6 months, in a year. But you do achieve those things by just never quitting and just always showing up constantly. I think these two boys are a testament of that. They've gotten a lot better at paintball by getting their ass kicked for 3 years, essentially. And they're starting to show it now. But, just wanted to give a special shout out to him. He listens to the pod. He was one of our international listeners. It's pretty fucking cool that we people in Australia listen to this goddamn show. Just wanted to give him a special shout out, let him know that, we saw the hard thing you went through, man, and keep your head up.
Dude, his post,
you only get better.
That very moving. His post was very emotional and very moving about it. Where it's like, dude, like I'm disappointed in myself. Right? Like I missed the cut, and I didn't know it was by a minute and a half. That is some very short margin. Mm-hmm. Running a half marathon and missing the cut by a minute and a half. That is something that, the drive home after, no joke. Like I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, his
the athlete's plane ride.
Yeah.
God damn, I beat you there.
He is. That is something that running a marathon. I mean, I'm the kind of guy where I truly believe that if a lion's chasing me, bro, I'm running that half marathon. You know what I'm saying?
You probably have good enough cardio. You do a lot of very cardio heavy intensive things, so I actually kind of believe you could pull one out of your ass like that.
I think Brando could definitely run one as well.
True. I mean, most paintball players at like the top level who are like doing stuff, staying in shape, they probably could. The next day, you'll fucking be hurting. Like your legs will be on fire. But I think you guys could do it. So one of the things Sunday, it finally cleared up over here, and there was plenty of time. So I decided to do a half marathon myself, 13.7 miles. Took me a lot fucking longer than 70 minutes, I'll say that. It hurt. It was hot. It was around like 2.5, 3 hours. But I was like, fuck it. Let's just, honestly, I was going for my, regular times or my regular kind of run and stuff. And then I was like, I have nothing to do at home. Let's just keep going. Oh, we're like 4 miles away from a half marathon. Let's see if we could do that today. And yeah, my right ankle has hurt since then. Definitely, took some impact over those days. But yeah, no, it's possible. And, kind of that's one of the things I said to him is like, yeah, I would not have done this if I didn't see all your content about doing it. It was funny. I sent him that screenshot I just showed. It was like 13.7 miles. He didn't know that was a half marathon because he only knows the kilometer conversion. So he's like, damn, man, like that was a good run. And I was like, that's a half marathon in freedom units, by the way. He busted out laughing to that one. He liked that one. That's what we call them. It's freedom units. All right. That's what we use in America.
Absolutely.
But yeah, go try different shit, people. It's good to challenge yourselves like that.
Absolutely. Like trying new things is like a huge thing that I like to say. I mean, me and Brando have a trip planned in a few weeks about trying something new for us, right? And we don't want to reveal it too late. We want to make sure it happens and all the stars come aligned before it happens. And
I've had some of those stories, so I can respect. That's good to know.
That is one of those things, Ryan, where, dude, half marathon, bro, proud of you, dude. That is not easy.
No, it's not.
It hurt. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, dude,
and about halfway through, I like looped back to my apartment, refilled my water bottle, and was like, "All right, let's go again. Let's get back out there." But
that's good. That shows like motivation and discipline to where you're like, "All right, well, I'm already home. I could just sit down."
Honestly, right? I'm gonna be honest. I was just bored, dude. I just had nothing to fucking do this past weekend.
I mean, what better way to spend your time, right? It kind of self-improvement, right? It fucking sucks, obviously, right? It hurt. Might have sucked in the moment, but I don't know.
It's a good way to clear your mental. You know,
it is.
Like
yeah.
going on a walk, like late time walks are hard for me, dude. Ever since I lost Cali, that's just been a hard thing for me going on like walks by myself, right? But so I try to find it in other avenues. But dude, Ryan, that is a thing where mentally, bro, that is a thing where you can analyze your thoughts. You can stop, take a breath. I mean, obviously not stop walking, but you can
I see what you're saying.
Right? And that's awesome, bro. Seriously.
Yeah, appreciate it.
My happy place like that is video games.
Yeah, the other thing I was gonna say too is like it kind of just worked out because it was raining from like Thursday through to Sunday, and then like the morning of Saturday or Thursday through Saturday it was raining, and then the morning of Sunday it kind of broke up for a bit, and then later that night it was raining. So it honestly was just more so like, oh, let's get the fuck out of my apartment. Like let's fucking go be in nature and see some bunnies and squirrels and shit.
Oh yeah, what kind of wildlife you see? Bunnies and squirrels? Anything more?
Those are the only two I see on the walks. If I'm seeing something else, it shouldn't be here, so that's not good.
Nice. Okay, that's exciting.
But yeah, I guess speaking of that and speaking of trying new things, I did sign up for a new program today. Got my background check and liability waiver and all that signed. So I'm gonna go volunteer at my local county animal shelter.
There we go, baby.
There we go. I want to be around dogs. I also know I'm not fully in a position to own one yet, and might as well go help out. There's a lot of dogs sitting there who probably want someone to go, throw a ball for them or, just be social. And yeah, so tomorrow I have it's like a tour that you have to take that kind of shows you all the stuff around the facility and everything. And then there is another dog handling class I have to officially take with them. But yeah, starting the process of that. Just, again, just a lot of this is stemming from the fact that I'm just fucking bored in life right now. And Hatch knows the reason why. I won't discuss that publicly on the podcast, but there's just been a lot of times where I'm just like, fuck, I want to do something. I don't want to sit in my apartment anymore. I can't bring myself to game. Let's figure out something to do. So yeah, it's been what I've been looking to do.
Like you're putting yourself.
That'll test you mentally.
Yeah, you're putting yourself into maybe uncomfortable situations, right? Because you're not used to it. But
have you ever been in the same room in a close quarters with a really aggressive dog, bro? That shit's definitely risky.
Yeah, but that also doesn't.
In a new situation.
That doesn't scare me as much because okay, the dog's gonna bite me. All right, cool. I can manhandle the fuck out of it and make it regret that decision. And I'm not even talking about physically harming it. It's just I'm able to control that thing. Unless it's a goddamn Great Dane, I'm bigger and I'm not just. I don't know. I've grown up around dogs my whole life. They really don't intimidate me in that way.
Yeah,
you gotta be the alpha
they don't
sometimes.
Intimidate me either. I'm just looking at bro, some dogs that are scared. Right, it's one of those things where you gotta it's a threshold of comfortableness, right? And when you're with a dog you're not really familiar with, it's very interesting, right?
That's true.
One thing I will tell you.
Oh yeah.
One thing I will tell you, dude. What I never expected that mentally strained me from walking dogs at a shelter, dude, is when you go back with the dog and the dog's like, oh wait, I'm not free, you're not taking me, bro. That is genuinely a thing that tested my heart for sure. I was like, oh my god, they don't want to go back because it's just they're just seeing these fucking four walls, right? But it's a thing where, dude, at least for a chapter of that dog's life, he's like, damn, I walked with a dope ass dude today. And then, dude, when you keep going back and you keep establishing those connections with those dogs and you hand them off to another family, bro, it's such a rewarding feeling.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a thing.
I don't disagree.
It's gonna be good.
And yeah, I think dogs, just like people, they're very social animals. They like humans. That's kind of the whole thing that we've developed them for over selective breeding for thousands of years. So yeah, no, it always does tug at my heartstrings. The ASPCA commercial comes on and Sarah Michelle Gellar starts singing at you, and you're just like, God damn it, take my $14, please get that dog out of there.
Get him some kibble.
But yeah, no, and it also goes back to I just know also right now I want to be a good pet owner, and I don't have the times or funds really to do that. So I don't want to. I don't want to be selfish.
Next closest
but
thing.
Yeah, still interact with some dogs, and probably dogs that really need it too. They're just you never know the background of what some of these guys went through, and I always think that shit makes me really sad because it's how could you abuse this beautiful little thing that just wants to love you?
Yeah. I agree. We should put the death penalty for animal abusers. I'm telling you, bro. That should be like the death penalty.
The problem with that is Romans did that, and then their society collapsed. That was actually one of the things that happened towards the end of Rome, is they started putting animals above humans, and it didn't go so well. So it's a little history fun fact. But I do agree with the sentiment of what you're saying. So
thank you. I appreciate that. The sentiment is all that matters. Right?
Yeah.
There's no way we fucking let us kill people.
That's the problem with knowing history pretty well, is everything that we think of today, it's already been tried and it's worked really shitty in the past. Like softcore history, one of their favorite sayings is shit don't change. Shit has not changed. Human beings have been the same for the last 5,000 years. We just have different technology now.
100%, right? And we lost the aliens technology, so that's why we can't build any more pyramids.
Yep, the Library of Alexandria.
They went back into hibernation in the Rashad structure. So,
dude, speaking of
Antarctica.
I can't go into it too far depth, so it's not a great podcast topic. I did have a conspiracy theory come across my Instagram Reels page this week that I am putting in my back pocket, and next time we do a conspiracy theory show, I'm busting it out because it's a damn good one.
I have a couple good ones. Like, I've heard a couple good ones, and I'm like, I did my own independent research for one of them, and I'm like, whoa, bro! Not only did I scan Reddit, like people are like, hey, like this. Well, listen. Wait for it. They're like, hey, this doesn't add up. And then I like basically the questions that they were asking, I was typing into Google, and I'm like, okay, let me try to find all this shit, bro. The line is very fine in the sand. Let me just say, things are lining up exactly the way that
the theory says. Yeah,
exactly.
No, I see what you're saying. How do you feel about Lyme disease? Did you know that came from a place in Lyme, Pennsylvania? I learned that this past week too. That's a fun conspiracy theory.
Okay, are we getting into it?
Yeah, we don't have to. There's not much info about it, but it makes sense.
God damn it.
This isn't a conspiracy theory episode, but we do need to put one of those on the schedule in like the next couple of months because I want to make a PowerPoint, and there's a lot for this one that I found, so it would be good.
Hell yeah, that's gonna be.
Someone's got to make a PowerPoint, and I know you two fuckers aren't doing it, so.
Well, I think about it.
I think, yeah. See,
when I talk about it, I mentally put a PowerPoint in my head.
Yeah.
It's projecting on.
Next slide.
I'm projecting my thoughts from my brain onto my eyes, and then I'm just saying it.
I think that's the thing I'm most proud of with the past PowerPoint, and it's one of the clips we have on our FTS page, is I literally predicted what you were going to say. Because I had the Jimmy Carter thing, and then Hatch instantly is like, that's my fault. And the next, the next slide thing on my thing was just this in parentheses, it was partially Hatch's fault. Yeah. I was like, damn, that worked to perfection. Like, I was set up and everything. It was great.
It's like you can't write this, but you can kind of see it come into place. You know what I'm saying? It's like the paintball when you're seeing the moves before they happen. Right?
No, it's called I know you too well, Hash. I can predict what you're gonna say.
It's like this. We're almost like the Simpsons in a way. We know each other so well. We can eventually predict the future. There we go.
Yep.
God, I could not. Purdue University.
I don't know what's funny to me with that conspiracy theory? The Simpsons have just done so many episodes over the last 25 years that they've predicted everything, and it's not like that they predicted it. It's just that when you throw so much shit against a wall, something's gonna stick.
I agree. Same thing with South Park, right? It's one of those things where they have so many episodes and so many potential crazy shit on there that's like, damn, like something is even in the ballpark of what they are talking about.
And it's gone.
Trump being president.
Yeah, no, well,
that one was a perfect example.
Did you see, with South Park recently, so Paramount Plus bought up the studio that owns, that South Park production company. They've started trying to tell Trey and Matt what they can and can't make jokes about. Trey and Matt released a statement saying, fuck you, Paramount. And I love that, because they're the only two people who are able to do that, and they do so whenever they want to. I have a lot of respect for those guys as creatives.
As soon as they're like, okay, now they're putting restrictions on us, dude, the quality of content could potentially go down 100-fold, because that's why those guys' content is so good, because it's so edgy and they have no restrictions.
Yeah, that's what Brandon said is why it's good. No one is safe, because that is kind of crappy if you only make fun of one group of people or one person. But if you're just making fun of everyone, I have to respect what you're doing. It's, I can't That's it's creative. It's great.
Yeah, you can't call them racist when they make fun of everybody.
It's more widely known now, but did you guys know that Matt and Trey one time took acid and then wore dresses and went to an award show back in the day?
Oh
I
yeah.
did not know that.
How do you not, Hatch? It is a wild story. There's videos of like the interviews they did on the red carpet. You can just tell these two men are on a different planet trying to hold the dimensions of reality together in front of them.
I feel that, brother. I feel that, But, I mean, honestly, fucking geniuses. And I just like with like, would you say Rick and Morty's up there with South Park when it comes to like realness,
Old Rick and Morty. Like first couple seasons was very good. And then
once all
Justin
that shit
Roiland
happened,
went
bro.
to jail. And now the
Boom.
show is not
Content
good anymore.
decline. Content decline, right? That'd be a thing where if they had a leash on them, it would be just like Rick and Morty, where the fall off was so real because they wouldn't be themselves anymore.
I disagree. The reason Rick and Morty went downhill was because Justin Roiland, I'm pretty sure it was like underage sex stuff. So like that's.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Yeah, he went to jail for a good reason. So like that's why that show is no longer funny. Or was it Dan Roiland, Justin Roiland? I'm not fully aware. I watched the first couple seasons. I fell off. I didn't really pay attention after that.
Yeah, but I mean, overall, straight TV geniuses.
Well, and
honestly.
going back to Matt and Trey, like we talked, I don't know, it was a couple months ago about like Casa Bonita, Mi Amor, just a crazy idea to bring back this place that they had as a childhood memory, and then dumped like millions of dollars into it, and made a whole documentary about it. It's a really good doc, but yeah, I love the creative minds of those guys. Also, they fucking wrote Book of Mormon, which I've seen in person, luckily. If you never have even heard of this musical, go look it the fuck up. It's one of the funniest things ever made. It just makes fun of the Mormon religion for about 2.5 hours straight. It's hilarious.
That sounds awesome. What's it called?
Book of Mormon.
The Book of Mormon. I gotta watch that shit. That sounds so
And
funny.
one thing, I gotta say this, I respect this about the Mormon people. When that was on Broadway and it was like really peaking and doing very good, they didn't firebomb the theater. They didn't, have like demands or anything. They just set up a table outside and were like, hey, if you have questions after you watch that, feel free to come ask us. And it's like, all right,
standing on business.
I can't hate you guys that much. Like, you're weird. You got some cult shit going on, but you're nice people at least.
Hey, if it's a cult, whatever.
No, Scientology is the
How do
cult.
I join? Yeah. Oh, I don't want to join that.
You don't want to sign a billion-year life contract?
Dude, where they get all my fucking shit? They get like 90% of my pay? Hell no.
Well, no, it's not even that. Do you know about the billion-year contract? So it's what they make their members sign, and essentially it's saying that in this life and in all of my next afterlives, I will work for the Church of Scientology. If that is real, you're fucked, guys. Why are you doing that?
Yeah, a billion. Do people understand how long a billion years is?
I think it's a billion. Maybe it's a million, but I know it's one of those big numbers.
Do you even understand how long a million years is?
Yeah, that's a long time.
Lot. Dude, 30
our
days.
universe is like
you don't even got me
a
for
couple
30 days.
of those old. Like, that's it.
Right? Like, you don't even got me on like a normal work probation, bro. No way I'm doing it for more than 9 days. So, but I've always been so curious about the Scientology, like going in there and being like, hey, like I'm down to come check this out. Maybe wear like some Ray-Bans of those fucking the meta glasses and just
they'll
see
kick
what
you
the
out
fuck
immediately.
happens.
They do to everyone who wears like glasses. You have to like hide your camera. Like it's got to be like a pin camera or something like that. Also, it's one of those things. They prey on like people who are like alone and like don't have much going on for them in life.
No
and
joke.
It's classic cult type shit.
I think at like 11 o'clock at night, I texted Brando and I was like, content idea. We infiltrate Scientology.
Dude, it was so random.
We
I
will
didn't even
lose you.
Respond. I didn't even respond. I was just like, what the
I'm just like
I'm in
sitting
bed
there,
with
I'm
Michelle. Shut the fuck up, Hatch.
I'm like, what can we do? Infiltrating Scientology. That sounds fucking insane. Try that.
I mean that is crazy content. You're right, but I feel like we will lose Stephen Hatch. The other thing too, I don't want to piss Scientology off because they're very good at being bullies, essentially. Like, one of the things they'll do is if you start making documentaries about them, they will just send people to your door every day and just document everywhere you go, and they will stalk you, and they will do all these things. but legally they do it up to the line where, okay, you're just in public, they're filming you, they have a right to do that, and then, you know, if it starts going further, then they're like, nope, we pull back and we stop doing it. It's yeah, Church of Scientology is pretty fucked up if you take any time to look into it. Oh, you know, and they believe in an alien god named Xenu that's going to come down and vaporize the planet. That's a legit thing that they believe.
Isn't that like this one of the same alien figures that like came down and like fucked the Earth, and that's where we came from, or something like that?
Xenu?
I don't know the name of the alien or whatever, but I'm pretty sure like something like that, right?
What are you talking about, Hatch? Yeah,
I thought that's what Scientology was, bro. Something about the alien implanting its seeds on the fucking Earth or some shit. I don't know. I should go check them out.
Maybe, but I mean, really, Scientology was just a science fiction writer who wanted to become a cult leader, and you know, and the legacy of L. Ron Hubbard lives on.
Damn, dude, that makes me wonder. Like the lizard people, is that the same shit?
Different groups. Yeah, different groups.
That is crazy. Because could you imagine if like actually we were right, like people were right, like hey, there's lizard people,
dude. So I was talking with one of my friends. I was talking with one of my friends on the phone today about this, and like we were talking about conspiracies, and you know, I just said at one point, I was like, you know, the older I get, the more I realize Alex Jones was right all along.
He really was. He was wrong once.
Yeah, Parkview was pretty much the only one he messed up, but he's been proven right with time about everything that everyone said he was crazy for saying. That makes me feel weird. I don't like that.
Right, especially now that Alex Jones is on this new arc where he's like getting ripped, and it's like, damn. Well, now that he's ripped, I've got to believe him. Now that he's getting ripped,
you have to listen.
It's like I got to believe him. He's gonna beat the shit out of me. He's gonna come find me and turn the frogs gay.
He's less red, more ripped.
Oh, okay. Facts. So he stopped taking his bone broth. All right.
Yeah,
dude.
Neck thickening salve.
It's crazy because there's even a conspiracy that he's been body swapped with somebody else. That they're saying some people are saying
they had to silence him, bro. He was right? Talking too much.
Like, exactly. Oh, it's not even him. So they put a body double in place of him. It's like, what the fuck? That is insane to think about.
I mean,
who said we weren't going to be on a conspiracy episode?
I mean, we didn't do our presentations like we normally do, but another one that's kind of interesting to look into is Operation COINTELPRO, which was back in the 60s during like the Jim Crow movement and all that stuff. It was an FBI operation where they would put agent provocateurs, which is a French term for like a person who goes into a riot or like a protest and then turns it into a riot, like hypes people up, gets them, you know, kind of foaming at the mouth and then leads them in a direction.
Hey, here's a pile of bricks.
That was an actual thing that has now been declassified that the FBI did in the 60s. I wonder how much of that went on during like the George Floyd rallies or like January 6th or like all of these things that have taken place and gone crazy in the last couple of years.
That it's like when we're adults, like when we're in our 60s and this gets declassified, we're going to be like, motherfuckers. You know, like what the fuck? They gypped us like that. No way.
Did your grandmother on her deathbed ever tell you that you need to look into the JFK files, Brando?
Oh, God.
Look into those in 30 years.
Yeah, when they're declassified. Yes, I will, Grandma.
It wasn't Oswald. You know, that would be insane to think about, right? Like just
all I know is,
but what's
if there was someone that wanted me to do that shit, that was holding on to that shit, oh man, best believe I'm looking into that.
You know, something that's kind of funny about that is, so I've been to the grassy knoll, right? Like I've been there as like a tourist, right?
I mean, it's like a couple hours north of me right now.
Like, dude, there is a guy that is out there every day that sells these DVDs about his conspiracy.
Does it have the Sabrina film in it?
I don't know.
Because I've actually never been able to watch it with my own two eyes. Like, so I know it exists, but I haven't seen it.
You know, I got to try to find it where it is. Because my mom bought a DVD when I was like a kid from the guy. She's like, this sounds interesting. Hey, buy it. $20? Sure. Right? So now I'm like, I got to fucking find that.
I see where the conspiracy interest comes from, Hatch.
Right? And, I mean,
it's a family lineage.
I was probably like 15 years old. Probably 15, 16. I just got into paintball. Maybe 17. This was my 2015 senior
It doesn't matter, Hatch.
Yep, but
these are the details we need.
Yes, let's stop the whole show for these facts.
I gotta verify in my own head. That's why you guys are here. You guys are my conscience in a way. You know.
Yeah.
I think of it as like the viewers talking to me. I'm like, they haven't even heard this yet. It's being recorded live, but what would they think? You know, as I'm saying it.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, I mean, the JFK one is just weird. It's fun to think about, like, what if they're telling the truth? What if it was a dude who just hit like a 1 in a million shot?
Yeah.
Back and to the left, though.
Back into the left. Back into the left. No, there is. So the other theory, one that I've heard that's kind of funny, is that it was documented that his Secret Service detail the night before went out partying and were drinking and, you know, did a lot of things out on the town. So the theory is that one of his hungover bodyguards, after he heard the first shot, essentially killed the president with his gun because he was like fumbling with it because he was hungover, and like he just heard a gunshot, was like, oh shit,
the guy
and then like killed the president.
Wait.
The guy in the driver's seat or whatever.
He had
passenger seat, I think.
He had a John Travolta moment in Pulp Fiction.
So that's
shit!
Now we got one of the theories is that, yeah, you know, this hungover Secret Service agent.
I've
and
heard
like
that one before.
They didn't want to, you know, they didn't want it to be like, oh, Secret Service shoots the president, so then they put it on, you know, the guy who was attempting to kill him. But
like,
yeah,
oh, thank God someone else was here shooting. Fuck.
Or like, you know, the magic
like,
bullet theory is fun too. It's like, yeah, so the brain went through his ear, you know, bounced around his skull a bit, went out his left arm, and is now, perfectly in peace right next to him on the operating table. It's like, that's not how bullets work. Even if they hit a skin, it's gonna, you know, become a crumpled mess of everything.
What the fuck, dude?
What happened on that
shit
day?
That keeps me up every night.
We got to time travel. We got to go back.
Like, I wonder. I mean, okay, I'm pretty sure.
Morty, we need to go back.
You guys have heard about, I think it was Bill Gates Stephen Hawking, who had the time travels party, right?
What?
No.
I don't know if I've heard of this one.
So, this is insane, right? So, Stephen Hawking, you know, the beep bop boop guy in the wheelchair.
We know who Stephen Hawking is.
This is for everybody who doesn't know.
He was also on the Epstein list, and yeah, you can make what you want from that.
Whatever.
He was just entertainment.
Yeah.
He was the entertainment.
He was the
entertainment. Like, all right, we want a vegetable, but a smart vegetable.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So he threw a party that was for time travelers, but he didn't tell anybody until the day after. He didn't announce it until the day after.
Okay.
Right? So he's like, okay, if anybody showed up to the party with an undisclosed address, that was then.
They would have already known because they heard it in the future, not because I announced it in the past.
Exactly. And
Did
no
people
one
show
showed
up?
No one showed up. So it makes me wonder, is it like something that's secretive where they can't show up and reveal themselves? What is it? Do we have this technology?
Well, the problem with time travel is it breaks the laws of physics as we know it. It like
every law of physics, for sure.
Yeah, and that's really the biggest conundrum with it, is like, how can you alter things in the past and then go back to the same future? Like, Back to the Future does a very good job of explaining it in layman's terms, with, you know, Biff getting the sports almanac and then becoming the king of the world, essentially. But yeah, it's time travel as a whole is a very, like, that's a dark thing to go down to, because once you start like thinking about the realities of what would happen the second time travel is invented, it's very scary.
Absolutely right. And oh man, dude, like that is.
It's not like Terminator and John Connor coming back. It affects things a lot more than that.
Like Primer.
Yeah, it's
Primer.
more like Memento or Primer.
Like in Family Guy, Stewie, the baby genius, he had like a time traveler's pad where he put like a little disc on the ground, and whenever they stand on it, it takes them to that time, right? I wonder if it's like a thing where it's like a zap ray. If you get zapped, how the fuck do you come back?
You know?
What if you get transported to the Cretaceous period, buddy?
Speaking of time travelers, have you seen the photo of the guy that they, you know, theorized was a time traveler? It's like a photo of a guy back in the 40s, and like everyone around him is wearing a suit. They've got their hats. You know, the women are in nice dresses, and like he's in like more future-looking apparel. That whole theory's been debunked, because everything on him was made in that time that he was there. It just was like a weird fashion choice to make.
What about the guy in the background of the Muhammad Ali fight with an iPhone?
What?
I haven't
there's
seen
a
this
picture.
one.
There's a picture where it looks like it's in the back. I'm pretty sure it's Muhammad Ali.
I guarantee you this was
or Mike
Photoshopped.
Tyson back in the day, right? And it's this. It probably is Photoshop, but it's a conspiracy that I think could be real. You never know. Right?
Give me some goosebumps, so that's good.
Right. I looked at it and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like zooming in on it. But it's this guy that's just like standing there holding what looks like a phone, like recording. And
Maybe
it's
it's
like,
not.
what the fuck is that guy doing? Right?
Maybe he was just holding up like a block of wood.
Like Johnny from Ed, Edd and Eddy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Plank.
No, it's always so interesting when you think about these, because a lot of the times, like, there are, ways to explain around it. But then that goes to like the Nelson, the Mandela effects, and it's like those are just so weird. It's Berenstein Bears. I will stand by that. That's what I remember hearing on my TV when I was growing up.
We have the
and
beef.
now they're trying to tell me it's Berenstein Bears.
We have the beef, dude.
Yes.
I was asking everybody in the car one day. I was like, "Hey, do you guys know Arby's motto?" Everybody except for Brando said, "We have the meat."
I don't believe that.
Everybody.
I don't believe that. It's we have the beef.
It was fucking ridiculous. Yeah, they're like, yeah, no, it's we have the meat. Like,
I'm so glad I wasn't the
I
only
got-
one here, Brendan, because that
No
would
joke,
have
dude.
like.
Every
whole
single time
life,
I was
yeah.
asking somebody, me and Brando are making eye contact through the rearview mirror.
Like,
That's
Every single
that's
time.
funny. Yeah.
Right.
Like, don't tell him. Don't say anything.
But then after
yeah.
I told him, I was like, dude, that is a Mandela effect. That dude, it must have gotten him good, right?
Yeah, Mandela effects are definitely like those are the ones to me that are like the most not creepy, but just like surreal. Where it's like, what is that? Why does a whole why does a whole like group of the population think something was one way, but when you look back in time, it was different? Like that is just weird.
Like, someone explain deja vu to me, buddy. I'm not French, but someone explain it to me.
I've had
what is
deja
that
vu
feeling?
multiple times. It's fucking weird. It's
What
Yeah.
what the fuck is that feeling? What is that?
Is it like parallel timelines converging on themselves for a brief moment in time? Because I do.
Right? Is this the multiverse?
I was gonna say, going back to like Rick and Morty, I do love the multiverse theory, where every single
Absolutely.
action that happens, there is a separate branching timeline and universe where that action happened and took place, and it affects and shapes things completely differently. The main reason I like to think about that is because all the things I fucked up in my life, I like to imagine there's a Ryan who didn't fuck those things up and is doing great. So yeah, that's my own personal bias.
And sometimes when I'm feeling bad about myself, I'm like, dude, there is a fucking way worse off hatch than me. Like, guy's a bum.
I feel like that's a good kind of microcosm into how we think about the world, Hatch. Because you're like,
know what I'm saying?
there's someone worse than me, and I'm like, God, I'm really fucking up in this timeline. Jesus Christ.
It's like, okay, it could be worse, but at least I'm not that guy. It's just me in a different universe. That's
That
like,
guy is you,
that
yeah.
That Squidward, he's a different Squidward from SpongeBob. He's like, spare change. He's like in the cardboard box. That's me. In
I don't
another
remember this
multiverse.
reference. I'm sorry.
It's okay. One day, I'll send a screenshot or something.
I'm not REA. I don't get all SpongeBob references.
That's okay.
As a fish
My
tank
brother's
reference.
a
There you go,
SpongeBob
ladies and
kid.
gentlemen.
you're not that autistic.
No, not even close.
Hey,
I don't
just a
have
little
ridges in
autistic,
my
buddy.
head.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah.
bullet is
Let's move
most
forward a little bit. That was some good times talking about the conspiracy theories. Let's talk about
one thing I can add
hypotheticals
for
now,
4th
though.
of
Hash.
July?
Oh, what?
I got one more story about 4th of July.
Okay, we can go back to that.
So me and Brent, I'm going out and I'm doing my thing. I'm packing up. Everybody's inside having some cake, having a good time, right? Got a 4th of July cake, and I'm like putting all the chairs together. I look over, I'm like, holy shit! All of my neighbors' stuff is on fire. Right, like all this, like there's stuff in their front yard that's on fire. I'm like, oh my god! So I walk inside, and Brando, why don't you tell me what it looked like from your perspective?
Dude, so I'm eating cake in the kitchen, sitting on a ice chest.
That's
I could see the
inappropriate,
front,
Brandon.
I could see, dude, I could see the front door. So Hatch like walks in, and he like as calm as can be. He walks over and like walks kind of in front of me, and Michelle's next to me, and he leans over and he goes, "Hey Brando, can you come help me outside really quick?" I was like, "Yeah." I thought he was cleaning up. I know he was cleaning up all the rest of the fireworks and shit. I just came in to eat cake. So I was like, yeah, I'll go help. I'll go help you. Yeah, we walk out, and it's him, Caden, Tegan, fucking who else?
I think Logan's out there too.
JB, Logan.
Oh, JB's also out there. Yep.
Yeah, and we go out, and as soon as we get, I'm like, why are they?
As soon as you get outside, fucking at battle stations. As soon as you walk outside,
Hatch turns around, he goes, "My fucking neighbor's house is on fire." I was like, "Where? Whose fucking house?" Yeah, and then if you want to take it,
but
over
not the
there,
house itself, just like the front yard,
no, not,
like some
like
sparks
part
caught
of the,
the grass.
I can't see. I can't see exactly what's going. Yeah, there. So a whole dumpster, like a whole like of the ones you put outside, right? The big trash cans you put outside, on fire. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm like, me and Caden are like running over there to go like assess the situation. Brando, Tegan, JB are grabbing the hose, running it over, and then we pull this trash can out that's on fire. Bro, we look inside of it. The neighbor lit fireworks and didn't like put them out all the way.
Yeah, it's still
What an
fucking
idiot,
smoldering.
bro. What an idiot.
Yep.
Straight up, what an idiot.
Yeah.
Right?
So
and then
go
ahead,
really
Brando.
quick. Yeah, I see you guys drag the. So I'm like, fuck. All right, let me do something. I turn around. JB and Tegan's using the hose to fill up the 5-gallon bucket, and then someone else was grabbing the hose and
We were like, fuck the bucket.
yeah, dragging the hose, making sure that it'll reach over there. So then maybe you and Caden, you and Logan, someone dragged the trash can away and like left a stream of it because it melted through the trash can, right?
Yeah.
I dropped the video in our Instagram, the Aftermath, the Instagram chat, but left a trail of burning fireworks, and I'm like, fuck, and my car's right across the street. I was like right in front of where the trash can was, so I was like, I got a bunch of water bottles in my car, so I like grabbed those while.
Oh yeah, he grabs the case of water and starts giving them starts giving the water an Indian burn, and starts shooting the water in there.
Yeah, just fucking trying to simmer it down because the whole trash can was on fire.
Oh, dude, it was hot. Like we getting close to it. It was hot, right? And the flames are at the point to where like at any point they could go out of the trash can. Right? There's a whole leaking, melting garbage out of this trash can in a trail.
But he's gonna need to buy a new trash can.
Dude,
it was done. It was done, right? And so I'm like, and these are the people, these neighbors. I don't know if I talk about this on the podcast. I've actually had a lot of problems with them in a way, and I genuinely think that they're running a cult. No bullshit.
Okay.
No bullshit.
Why have we not investigated this further?
Dude, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this a little bit, bro. Like, so I go onto their property, right? And they have like this eminent domain property where there's not really many houses. It's a big property in the suburbs. That's for no fucking reason.
That's strange. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right? And then so we're walking up, there are 4 white candy looking vans. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, hey, you want some candy in here? Like
all right.
there are
Sign me up. I'm on board.
Right, there are 3 big old vans, and the thing
Windowless
is,
vans,
I see
yep.
these people. Windowless vans. I see these people bringing in people all the time, and then I never see them again. No bullshit, right? And so the reason why I was so hesitant on this property is, dude, their dogs. They have incredibly aggressive dogs. They have a golden retriever and a labradoodle. Multiple times where they've gotten out.
Hold the fuck up. You can't say
Vicious, bro.
incredibly aggressive dogs and then say golden retriever right after. I do understand they can get a little angry, but that's just not in their breed.
It's a deadly peekaboo. Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, actually, so golden retrievers are actually I'm pretty sure they're in the top 10 of most aggressive dog breeds. They just got the friendly face, America's sweetheart. You know what I'm saying?
No,
but they're actually, some of them are pretty dangerous.
I'm gonna check this because I don't think you're right
Check
about
it.
that.
It's either golden retrievers or labs, one of the two, right?
I
One of
believe
America's
labs. I
sweethearts.
believe labs more because they're very loyal and they will do whatever to protect their owner. I believe
Right,
that one. I don't believe golden
the thing is,
retrievers.
they have pack mentality and they're super territorial, right? There have been times where I'm like going out to take my trash out, and dude, they fucking charge my ass to where like, if their owner wasn't there, dude, I'm lucky having to like throw down, and so I'm going onto this property where these aggressive ass dogs are. I go, it is so far deep in there. I have to like wrap around. Brando and everybody is like, where the fuck did Hatch go? Like, they're there with the burning trash can. Well, I'm going to let the neighbor know, hey, your stuff's burning. And I'm like, I ring the Ring doorbell, and I can tell it's a camera doorbell. So I'm like, hey, your trash can went on fire right? And I can see this guy, like, we can see through the window. We can see him moving around. And then as soon as he got close to the door, I'm like, hey, I can see you. You're something lit on fire. And then as soon as I had said that, I'm like, as soon as I was like, oh, I can see you, he's like, huh? Like, opens the door and is like slowly peeking around. And dude, he was so not, like, he didn't even give a fuck. He didn't even care. And he's like,
well, is the fire still currently happening?
He's like,
put it out.
He's like, oh, well, fire is hot, so. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? I just saved. And the thing is, right, where his trash cans were.
He just took his
house
heroin,
is-
Hatch. All right? He just
Basically.
wants to chill down for the rest of the night.
And he's like, are you the guys that are lighting off all the fireworks? And I'm like, yup. And he's like, oh, are you talking? He's like, oh, the crazy ones. Because I have neighbors that, like, are
You're
40
out in
feet
the
away
cut.
down the street, right?
Yeah.
That have some illegal fireworks. They're just blasting them off all the time, right? Great. Love it. Free show for me. But their house is closer to the fire than his house actually was. So the
because
neighbors
his
would have lost
property.
their house. Yep.
Yeah.
And dude, it was just absolutely insane because like in literally 10 seconds, it went from me seeing small embers in the fire or small embers in the trash can, like slowly flying up, to there being full-blown flames shooting out.
Damn.
So it was just,
Yeah, and all it takes is like a couple of those embers to jump over, and then that whole neighborhood is gone. I mean, that's happened
Right.
in multiple. That's really what most of like the LA fire damage was. It was a lot of like
and-
there was the big fires that started, and then winds picked up, and embers moved a couple miles down the road and start lighting some more dead grass on fire.
Right. So, and obviously California, that everywhere is dry right now because of the summer heat.
Yeah,
So
you
it
guys
was-
don't get
dude.
thunderstorms like we do.
No, dude, without a doubt, my adrenaline was pumping. It all just happened so fast, and luckily I was, and the reason why I was so nonchalant with Brando walking in there is because one, there are all of our wives and girlfriends. The second if I go in there, I'm like, there's a fire outside.
Yeah, it's gonna be chaos.
You're gonna start going insane, and I'm like,
Yeah.
and I don't want that.
That was a strategic
just-
move there. It's getting the one,
Right?
get the man in the room and be like, hey, buddy, you want to talk outside real quick? And then when you're outside,
That's how
"Everything is on
nonchalant it
fire,
was."
we need to move now.
Exactly. And Brando, dude, in a second, jumped into action with me, and dude, we put out the fire.
Well, as we know, Brandon is a first responder, surgical techs on the
Absolutely.
front line, so he knows how to
Hey,
jump in.
You're welcome for my services.
Thank you, dude. I got it for free, bro. I got it for free. Some people got to pay an arm and a leg, got to call their insurance. I got it for free.
I know I've said this before, but that was always one of my favorite things when Speegs was out at the field, and if either Speegs or Brandon was there and someone would get injured, I would always gauge my reaction on how little they cared. Because I was like, all right, if it's really bad and someone's dying, they'll jump in and make sure they're good. But a majority of the time, they're like, yeah, you're gonna be fine.
Speegs
deal with
would,
that shit
look
all
over
day at
across
work.
his
You're
arms and be
fucking
like,
fine.
All right, get up, buddy. Give him some electrolytes.
Yeah,
take the beanie. Take the 20
he's
Christmas
faking.
sweaters off.
I was
You're
like,
not
what?
going to get bounced, buddy. We're shooting HK here. You're not getting bounced. Take off the 20 Christmas sweaters. It's a July event. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing we got to deal with him, especially since the CPLs this weekend. Hey, 2 layers, people. It's going to be hot. Relax. Use code Mafia_Mafia. Get some liquid IV. Hey, it's going to be okay. Don't overexert yourself. It's going to be a hot one.
Yeah.
But-
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and even the day before, make sure you're drinking fluids, because a lot of hydration comes from the period of time before your event. If you're just pounding
Absolutely.
waters the
Start
morning
now.
of, it's
If you're listening now on the normal showing, you missed it, buddy. Have fun with dehydration.
you're already
should be
dead.
dehydrated. If you're a Patreon member, know to hydrate. Mike Ryan,
Right
I'm talking
now.
to you. I'm talking to you, Mike Ryan. I know you're gonna be there.
That also goes for USXBL this weekend too. So yeah, make sure you're good to go, guys.
Perfect example.
But yeah, well, that's good to hear. So I guess we can now call you an honorary firefighter, Hatch, and
Oh yeah, and let me
Salute
tell
to
you,
you, good sir.
there were constant sirens. Like after we put our fireworks show out, dude, there were tons of sirens. We're like, oh, pays not to be a dumbass.
Yeah, and the fires that Cedar left maybe half an hour before I left, and on Sunday when we were at the field, he asked me when did we leave, let him know, and he's like, yeah, I saw a couple fires, and he told me where they were. I was like, damn, like we drove an hour and a half the same way, the same direction, I didn't see those fires. I described the fires that I saw. He didn't see those. Like, we saw completely different fires on the same road, half an hour apart.
I mean, that's good though. Cal Fire was on it. They were out there.
Yeah.
They were ready to go.
Hey, thank you to the first responders. That is a hard job.
Yeah.
Which they have to be, because if we see it in California, shit gets out of hand very fucking quickly when fire is, at hand.
Especially when you're around where I am, in the fucking asshole of California, where there's nothing but brown grass.
Central
You look at it, too. You look at it, and it's on fire. It's one of those. But yeah. So besides that, we had a relatively safe 4th of July.
This is great 4th of July.
Just one person
garbage
burnt
can fire.
One person burnt their finger, but it was a girl, so it doesn't count.
Oh.
She just didn't know what she was doing.
Yeah, Hatch said
Exactly.
Hatch said she deserved it.
Oh, totally, dude.
Fair
How do you
enough.
not know how to light a firework? What are you talking about? Oh, it's my first time lighting it. Oh, well, just get good skill issue.
Get good skill issue.
So,
I love that. But yeah, so let's move forward a little bit. We talked about 4th of July quite a bit. I do want to hear your hypothetical, Hatch, because you said you had a good hypothetical for us tonight.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 goats of their own field. We're pinning them against each other. All right. So, who wins in a race? Ready for this? But there's conditions to this race.
I show speed.
No. Usain Bolt or Joey Chestnut. But they have to run 400 meters. But before they start, they have to down a hot dog.
One hot dog, it's still Usain Bolt.
Yeah,
Really? You think so?
Joey can eat them faster.
Joey Chestnut can get it down in like half a second.
But listen, Hatch, a 400-meter race, Usain Bolt is still fast enough he can overcome that. If you make it 10 hot dogs, Joey wins.
yeah.
Really? You think so? You think Usain Bolt can... He's a speedster. But you think he's a glizzy gobbler too?
I don't think that matters.
It's one hot dog, Hatch.
Yeah.
You can eat that in 30 seconds. Joey Chestnut cannot run a 400 in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying... fuck, dude. I feel like this would be a dope test.
It would be good. I produced a show yesterday, and the title was called "Is Joey Chestnut the Greatest Athlete of All Time?" I don't disagree that he is a legend. I'm just saying, in this very specific set that you've put up, Usain Bolt still can overcome the obstacle you put in front of him. This is Usain Bolt. It's literally the fastest man on the earth.
What if it's 2 hot dogs?
I think you give him at least 5, and the time that it's gonna take.
I tap out after 2 hot dogs. I'm like, damn, bro, I'm full.
Yeah, but Usain goes through a lot more calories than you do. But
That's true.
But it's a mass
He's
thing.
a
I know that's
competitor.
where I'm
He's an
getting.
Olympic gold medal competitor. You know he's got the heart of a champion. He's
Yeah,
not giving
But
this up.
Joey Chestnut guzzles the glizzies for a living.
I don't
Like,
disagree.
that guy's like-
That's the hardest
fucking
part with this
sucks
is
it
I
down
don't
and he's
disagree. It's just that the different. If it was like a 100-meter race, it's going back towards Chestnut because essentially he would have probably like a 5,
It is a 100-meter
6
race.
second
I have
head
it in my
start.
notes. It is a 100-meter race.
That changes it because now like the whole race itself, Usain Bolt runs in 9 seconds. Joey could probably do it in anywhere from like 12 to 13. So yeah, he probably is able to get that glizzy down and get on his way in 4 or 5 seconds before Usain has got into his rhythm.
do they have? Does Usain? Do you have to swallow the hot dog before you start running?
Absolutely.
I feel like
Gotta
you would
eat
have
it.
to. You might choke. You don't want a glizzy in your mouth when you're running a 100-meter dash.
I can do a lot,
Especially
with the
when you
glizzy
have
in
as
my
much
mouth.
arm movement as Usain Bolt, dude. You're taking somebody out if you're not if you're close to him.
I mean, he had people running in lanes next to him. He never took anyone out. I don't know what you're talking about.
He was so far ahead of everybody. Have you seen those hard photos when he's like looking back at him at the finish line? Bro, that shit
Yeah,
was hard.
that's a good one.
Right.
No, I see
Joey
what you're
Chestnut
saying,
wins that
Hatch. One dog, no, I don't think he does.
Really? One dog, you don't think he wins the race?
I think it's a good equalizer. I think it'd be a very tight race. But, like, dude, honestly, even if you're not a pro eater, you can eat a hot dog in 5 seconds.
Okay.
Like, hump,
Five
hump.
hot
And
dogs.
especially, let's be real, if they're the
against Michael
Nathan's hot
Phelps.
dogs, they're not like a large fucking, it's not like a
large
foot-long dog or something like that.
we're
Like, it's just
talking-
a small little bun-like Frank.
We're talking Costco size hot dog.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit.
Joey
Chestnut's
might
winning for sure.
Joey might choke. He's used to
No,
shorter
what
dogs.
what he's gonna do? No, what he's gonna do? He's gonna Indian burn it in half, gobble gobble, run.
You missed the most important step: down in water. And that's why I hate watching the hot dog contest. But he's still a goddamn champion, and I will always root for him.
Soggy bread. I love it.
Okay, 5 hot dogs, but he has to swim a 25 against Michael Phelps.
I mean,
Like, Michael Phelps is that dominant in the water.
he is.
And plus
25 too. Like that's still just a short distance. Like, you know,
that's a single pass. That's a single,
yeah, like
single pass.
Well, and it's honestly not realistic because like at an Olympic length pool, it's 50 meters across. So like that's their shortest race. That would be a more realistic one. But like Michael's swimming that in 19, 20 seconds, something like that. So Joey would need to essentially have like probably a good 10 to 15 second head start as he's coming out of the dogs. And I mean, with 5, maybe he does. It's tight. It's tight still. Like, it's not a super lopsided thing in my head.
I agree. It's one of those things where I would like to see it. No joke.
I would. Also,
right? And it makes me wonder. But the thing is, you can't swim until an hour after you're done eating.
well,
You touch the pool, you're immediately belly flopping.
no, I mean, that's not, you're not right about that. But it would be funny to see, like, Joey, you know, he puts these dogs down in, you know, let's say 10 seconds, he's getting the 5 dogs down. Does that affect him when he gets into the pool? Like, is he gonna just instantly start drowning and side cramping up?
Is there? I'm gonna Google Michael Phelps eating a hot dog. Is that a video?
Ooh.
I guarantee you it is. Do you guys remember the stuff back in the day where it was like, Michael Phelps eats 7,000 calories a day? And it's like, yeah, he swims for 4.5 hours. That's what it requires. Like, I don't know if you know, but swimming's one of the most calorie intensive things you can do.
First video, it's him eating 12,000 calories.
12,000. I was short by 6K.
This one is no joke. He's doing doing a competition against his swimming mate in this YouTube video, and they're both eating 12,000 calories, like competing to eat 12,000 calories.
God damn. And what's insane is like when you see the photos of him with like, you know, the 12 Olympic golds around his medal or around his chest.
That photo goes
still
so
a
hard.
huge ass fucking 6-pack. So like, wait, where is it going, Michael? What are you doing with those 12,000 calories?
God damn, dude, just absorbs it like runes. Like
That's another thing is like, how many calories did Chestnut eat at the hot dog contest? He got what? It was 70 and a half dogs is what he was able to get?
So historically, I did my research. Historically, the highest he's ever gotten is 74 dogs. Ever.
Fun fact about that show. Joey Chestnut was on the podcast I work for the night before that contest, and he called his shot. He told them to bet on the over because he felt like he was going to hit the record the next day. Because what year was that? 2019?
I think so. Because the thing is, right? So, first man ever to get 70. Next year, breaks it with 71. Next year, breaks it with 72.
Okay.
Next year, breaks it with 74, but then retracts the next year going 71 again.
Yeah.
The man
he
is a
slowed
fucking
down a
legend.
little bit. But he is, I mean, 11-time mustard belt champion. Sorry, Brandon.
No.
That is such a flex.
Oh, no. What did you do? So, just quick Google.
Is it 74 dogs?
No. I just got the 2025 contest that he got 70.5 hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
A quick guess. How many calories do you think that is?
I'm going to say in the ballpark.
Bun and all?
Yes, bun and all.
Bun and all?
Probably
Fuck, that's a lot of calories
11K.
Bun.
That's what I'm going to say.
11K for you, Ryan. What'd you say, Hat?
Sheesh. I may be thinking like, how much is fucking math?
Fire.
Okay, 9,344. 9,344.
Okay, I was like 900, 300? What?
9,334.
You ready?
Okay.
21,150.
Holy fuck, dude.
Again, I was 10K
What?
short. Jesus Christ.
How does he feel after he eats that?
So on that podcast, I heard like he has a whole routine he does before he does any of these eating challenges. He like chugs a gallon of water as fast as he can to like make his stomach expand and be like ready for what's about to come. And then he shits the rest of the night. That's literally what he described. The second he's done with like the media obligations and stuff, he goes back to his hotel room, and for a majority of the night, he is just shitting.
Yeah,
That's rough, dude. You're not even on your own toilet.
That's over
You're not even
6
sleeping in your own
pounds.
bed.
That's over 6 pounds of calories.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
6 pounds of calories.
And this is what I mean. He is the goddamn greatest athlete ever alive, bro. That is fucking so impressive. I've seen lesser men get on that stage and vomit all over. Shout out Airsoft Fatty. But do you guys know that happened, by the way, too? Chris was,
Yep.
you know, Airsoft Fatty went to the event last year, did the lemonade chugging challenge, and puked all over the front row.
It's crazy to think that that's how long this podcast has been a thing. Because I remember talking about that the day it happened on the podcast.
Hatch, we're almost at our 3-year anniversary, bro. All right, there's a lot of shit that's happened over this time.
You know, it's funny. I was just talking with Tegan before we recorded about, you know, the evolution of the show, right, and some of the drama that we've had behind the scenes and stuff like that. And it's like, bro, it is so crazy how far we've come, right? And
I don't
just
disagree.
The things that even we think we've talked about, right, or things we think we haven't talked about, we're just like, oh, dude, I think we've talked about.
We're getting to that point where we have moments where I'll tell a story I probably told in episode 30 or 40. Like, that's a good sign you've been doing it a long time.
And people are like, oh, dude, remember when you did that? I'm like, how the fuck did you know?
Because they listen to the podcast.
How did you know that? But exactly, then I'm like, oh.
They have a parasocial relationship. We're not your friends, but we do love you.
We're a family, as Dominic Shredder would say.
No, that's no.
Family.
Parasocial relationships.
Yeah.
Learn about them, kids.
Yeah, see, we when we were talking about the firefighting thing with the 4th of July that we just talked about, I don't remember if I talked about doing a 24-hour ride along with the fire department in high school. Like I think I did because
I definitely don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. So I don't know if you have. I want to hear this now. What the fuck?
Let me lock in. To my Baja Blast.
Yeah. For our senior year of high school, we had to do a senior project, and in order to graduate, and mine was firefighters and firefighter paramedics. Going through, the schooling and everything, and my mom working at the hospital constantly saw firefighters coming into the ER.
Yeah, bringing in cold bodies. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. So she became friends with them and whatnot, and got me in touch with one of the guys, and was able to do a 24-hour ride along, which doesn't happen.
Wait, your mom was an ER nurse?
No, it was just her office was right next to the.
Okay.
Her window.
I was gonna say, like, she's an ER nurse talking to firefighters. I get why Michael Baird left.
Yeah. No.
God damn, that's your mother, brother.
Nah, her office was the ambulance bay. She overlooked the ambulance bay, so she'd go in and into the ER and help with codes and stuff. But yeah, it usually people did maybe 12-hour ride-alongs, but I stayed the night at the house
Fire station.
Yeah, and that was cool. It was weird walking in there like, fuck, I'm gonna be sleeping here with some men. It was weird. It was a little odd.
Why'd you say it
right?
like that?
Like
some men.
I only know one guy, and I don't even really know him. I've interviewed him a couple times. Yeah, that's it. I don't even really know this guy, and I just sat around, talked with them. I think they kind of watched what they said a little bit because I was still a kid.
They had the high schooler there, yeah.
Yeah. So, but it was still cool being around. Went to the grocery store with them.
That's dope.
They tested me on putting all the equipment on and everything, and that was a bitch.
Yeah.
That took a while. It was fucking
It's what,
hot.
like 30 seconds they have to get dressed up in?
Oh my god, yeah. God. That was
And that's
crazy.
everything. That's like going from what I'm
Fucking
in now
everything.
to a full fire suit with an O2 regulator on. Like,
Yes.
it's
Yeah, and they had to get like the Muppet suit for you, right? Like the smaller one.
Yeah, the kid stuff.
Yeah,
They gave me a
4-1
female
at this point.
Yeah, they give me a woman's one. It hugged my hips.
Woman firefighter, that's fine.
Oh, God. Jesus, man. But so did you guys? They didn't have any calls during that time? Or?
Damn straight we did.
Okay.
Yeah, we went. First couple calls we went on was some kid broke his nose at one of the high schools. Went on. An older person fell. Had to go and help them up. Actually, I think we had 2 of those calls. 2 people fell. They just had to go help. And
Little life alert situation.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and then there was we were sitting down eating dinner, or getting ahead of myself. They do this. At the time, there was an old apartment complex that was burnt, caught on fire, and every day they'd go and check the place, making sure that there's no homeless in there. And that was creepy. That was eerie and creepy walking into there.
Oh yeah, it is, bro.
It was all the apartments were inside. It was just one building. Everything was inside. And it was dark, cold, so fucking cold. And flashlights only. I stepped on.
What time of year is this, by the way?
This was like springtime, maybe.
Like
Or
08?
getting in.
No, dude, odd 8.
Odd 8, yeah. No, this was like 2013. Yeah, springtime 2013.
Past the odds.
Was it spring? Yeah, whatever. We were getting into
It's
spring.
springtime.
Yeah. And yeah, that was really eerie. No homeless people. And then we sat down to eat dinner, and one of the guys ate, or one of the guys cooked, just like in the movies, and they have an alarm and lights that go off when there's an emergency, a call that they got to go on, and it starts to go off, and I didn't recognize it was a different kind of alarm. It was just, oh fuck, alarm, we gotta go. And because they told me, we'll leave you if you're not ready to go, we're gonna leave you. All right,
have a job to do.
I am.
Oh, yeah.
I am ready to go as soon as I hear the alarm, and I stand up, and nobody else stands up except one guy, the chief, the fire chief, and they're like, oh no, it's just for the chief, but if you want to go, you can go. I was like, yeah, I'll go, whatever. So instead of getting in the big rig, the fire engine, we jumped in the fire chief car, the little, I don't even know what it was.
Like Suburban
truck.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just him and I went down the street to this Burger King. Motherfucker was stabbed. He was stabbed at a Burger King. He's sitting there on the ground, holding his stomach, fucking stabbed, talking. And as we get there, as paramedics and police showed up, and the fire chief isn't really doing it. He's kind of letting everyone else do their jobs, and he's just talking to, hearing out the employees, what happened, the guy that was stabbed, and the witnesses. And I could not take my eyes off. Mind you, there was a guy bleeding on the ground. My eyes weren't peeled on him. My eyes were peeled on this goddamn witness that came in a wheelchair, but he had no legs. He had stumps on his fucking stumps. But motherfucker's walking around on his stumps with his wheelchair right there.
What the
What the fuck?
This is like like a whack pack character in real life. And he's like waddling around.
Like bear stump or like
Bear stump.
peg legs?
No, bear stump.
Bear stump.
I'm like,
raw dogging the stumps on the asphalt's crazy, bro.
like
That is crazy.
It's like, is anybody else seeing
Brandon,
this
I love
PC
that
right now?
look, Brandon.
It's like,
You're
is
just
this
like-
a glitch going on?
Yeah, like, am I the only person seeing this? Did you guys drug me? Like, what the fuck's happening?
Dude, this guy's body is not rendered in
where-
fully. Like,
where-
help me out here. You guys seen this?
God, where's his leash? Like, what the fuck? Please.
Jesus.
So that was crazy. I thought that was crazy. Yeah, we went on a fire call. There was a car caught on fire in the garage of a duplex, and
Ooh,
that was
damn.
cool to see. Yeah, we pull up fucking front row, and I had a little camera with me. I was taking pictures for my senior project. I wish I had those pictures still, because I got this one really cool picture. One of the firefighters wanted me to send it to him. He's manning the hose in front of the garage, spraying up at the roof with the car. Like, they were working on the car. It was halfway backed out of the driveway and up on a jack, and it was just like it was just really cool. It all in flames and everything, and you could see like
I guarantee you he put that on his Tinder profile.
Maybe. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Look what I
no way
do
you
at work,
put that-
babes.
That pic got him
You
laid.
can't. The thing is, you can't. One thing I learned about Tinder, you can't put that as your first photo. You got to put that as at minimum.
Yeah, that's like third or
Like the
fourth.
second.
It's like, whoa.
Like that. You're pushing it with second. Third or fourth is the right place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First photo's gotta be your grade A, best foot forward. You know, you in a suit,
Absolutely.
you
That's the
looking
one where it's
good. Like, yeah.
Because when girls are hitting the game like I play, where they're just like ring, fucking swiping, you know what I'm saying, right? They'll see that one and be like, "Whoa, damn, got a good one in there."
Didn't,
You know?
Didn't they see that
This
you're a
guy saves
firefighter
people.
too? Yeah.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
"Damn, this guy's good with a fucking hose. He must be gay." No, I'm just kidding.
Dude. So
Yeah.
I'll let you finish in a second, Brando. One of the things that's coming up as you're telling this is like, it is funny how a majority of people, you know, you hear firefighters and you're thinking, oh, okay, they get dispatched to go deal with fires. No, they get dispatched to go deal with first aid shit. That is a majority of what you do as like a city firefighter. Very, very rarely do you get to pull out the hose and spray some shit down.
Yeah. And again, we went on 2 fire calls. We only stopped and pulled the hose out on one. You know, there was other engines that showed up and put the other one out before us. But yeah, all the first aid shit. Every time the ambulance is dispatched, so is the fire engine, and that's because most of them are also firefighter paramedics that can then help on scene. But if it happened several times, the ambulance beats us there. And one guy would get out. Hey, you good? You need any extra hands? No. All right, cool. It gets back in the engine and we go back. Like nothing to do.
Yeah.
You know, it's they're just.
Well, and the
if
other
they
thing,
could
too-
yeah.
Well, I was gonna say with firefighters, the other thing too is they have a lot more equipment. So like if there's like a highway crash or something, ambulances don't carry jaws of life around, but firefighters do. So like if there's, you know, a vehicle that needs to be cut open, or, you know, there's something that needs, you know, for the paramedics to do their job easier, they're there. That's I think that's why firefighters are like, you know, they're called more first responders, because they show up first as like, all right, what the fuck do we got to do here? Oh, cool. There's people who are already taking care of it.
Yeah. Definitely. And that was one call that we went on in the middle of the night, getting, dude, talk about a goddamn flashbang, being woken up with the because as soon as the your dispatch comes through and the sirens goes off inside, the fucking lights turn on, and you get up really quick. And I remember I ran in and I hopped in they left out some boots and the pants for me because I was sleeping in some shorts, you know, throw those on really quick for
Feel comfortable.
night. Yeah. And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. There was a crash on the freeway. We pulled up again. Cops were there on scene first. Ambulance was there on scene first. Guy gets out. Hey, you need anything? No. All right, everyone's cool. They got the drivers out. Like, no, it wasn't terrible at, you know, where they needed the jaws of life, but again, just responding to it, right? And didn't need our service, so we went back and slept. Because
it's one of those things, like, you know, if there was someone trapped in that car, you want to get them the fuck out, and you know, you don't want to get to the scene and then have to wait an additional 20 minutes for the fire unit to come. And it does just make more sense to, like, oh, you need an RA unit? All right, cool, we're setting fire too.
Yeah. So it was really cool. We think we went on 2 calls in the middle of the night, and just, you know, again, ambulance beat us there, didn't need our services, we went back. It was really fucking cool. I'm glad I did it.
That's a cool experience.
Yeah, it was. I passed my senior project with an A or A minus or something.
I would hope so.
Anything less than an A, that teacher is horrible.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even like teachers I knew. You get assigned like random ass teachers. Like 2 teachers, I think.
That's kind of like a meme I've seen online, but it's like, there ain't no songs that are called "Fuck the Firefighters." Like, you know, everyone has respect for these guys, because when you need one, you fucking need one.
Nobody fucks with the firefighters. You know what I'm saying?
Except for that dude in Utah a couple weeks ago, but fuck him, crazy person.
That guy.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy, fucking piece of shit.
Fuck that guy. We all just said fuck that guy in unison. I love it. That's what FTS's group thought about him is.
Yeah.
Nah, it's dope. It really, in another life, I think I would have become a firefighter. I mean, hell, it still crosses my mind. I still can. My brother-in-law became a firefighter at like 30, 32, something like that. So
Yeah,
still
Bert
gotta-
was a volunteer firefighter, so who says you can't be one, Brandon?
yeah, that's the man I want to model my life after.
Yeah, the black
Nice.
urban ripped top. Is that
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
God, that man!
great.
I've been watching some of his live streams because him and Frank Castle are like interviewing all of the season 4 Fish Tank contestants.
Oh,
Dude, I forgot how much I hated Bert. Like, it's just TTS will keep being like, oh yeah, like this guy said this about being gay or something in the tank, and then it'll be like, oh he did, oh yeah, like so you like gay, you're a gay man, you or like they asked him like, ask Frank if he's ever slept with a man on camera, and he's like, well, have you, Frank? And Frank's like, no, I haven't. And he's like, oh, so you've done it off camera then? And it's like, no, Bert, no, we're not you, motherfucker.
dirty
God damn.
fucking mine out of his goddamn
God,
brother
he's so annoying. I'm just watching it so I can like hear the
Hate on
interviews of the
Bert,
people
yeah.
who came out of the tank.
God, fuck you. But my beautiful baby bros.
God, I hate that, man. But yeah, that's interesting. So one thing you were talking about during that, and it brought up to mind this like weird thing I've seen on social media. So Life Alert, everyone knows that is. It's like the necklace that old people can wear, if they fall down and can't get to a phone.
Can't get up.
They can press that, and then 911 gets dispatched to them. Okay, well, there's a company making essentially the same product, like a necklace-made little transponder thing, but it's being targeted towards, like young women. Like, hey, if you're going on a date and, you don't have your phone nearby you, it's, you can contact someone. Their marketing is some of the most disturbing shit ever because...
Absolutely. I know what you're talking about.
Have you seen these?
It's on Twitter.
It's
Yes,
literally...
they're absolutely insane.
They just so the first one I saw, I didn't see, like, there's no hashtag ad, there's nothing like that going on. It's just this video of a girl who's like in her apartment, and you just hear this man voice, and she's like, oh, did you like it was something about like, did you just put something in my drink? And then like he says something of like, oh, it's gonna be okay,
you're just coming back to
baby.
my
And
house.
yeah, and then she like passes out as she's like clicking her necklace.
She's in the bathroom. She's like throwing up. She's like, "Whoa, did you put something in my drink?" He's like,
Yeah,
"Don't worry, just come back to my place." And she's like, "I don't feel so." Then clicks it. Right?
Yeah, and there's no disclaimer. There's no like, this was a recreation of an event that might happen, but our product can save you. No, it just ends. Dude, going to the comments, everyone in the comments was like, well, my day's fucking ruined now. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, those commercials remind me of when I was young, seeing we've talked about it before, the meth not even once.
Oh.
Right? Obviously, those showed like the meth not even once after, right? But it was
Yeah.
like the shock factor to the actual ad before you got the disclaimer, right? That one doesn't even have a disclaimer.
no.
But those commercials just hook you so good because of how real that stuff happens every day. Every day.
I don't like thinking about it because, like,
Yeah.
I mean, look, I've said this before. There's one thing I respect about men in prison. They have a rule there. It is no women and no children.
Yeah.
Look, even some of the worst people in the world understand that you don't fucking do these things. And, I will always have respect for those men because they take care of it when that shit comes up into their facilities. But... man, I saw another one today that kind of reminded me of this that popped up, and it was like a different situation, but very similar of like this girl being abducted, and like, God, it's like I got on Instagram at noon. What the fuck? Like now I'm thinking about this shit all day. It was highly disturbing, and yeah, no, it left an impression on me. And look, I mean, it's great that they're making a product for that. I just wish they marketed it a little bit differently.
I mean, honestly, I like the way they marketed it because it's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. It means it's working.
I mean, true, but like they don't need to go that far. Like I don't know. It just was like
What's the line that's too far though?
literally like soft role playing a women being kidnapped and abducted. I'm good. I don't need to see that on my Instagram feed.
But the thing is, right? But it happens in real life. So they're like, the fact that you're even feeling 1% of this uncomfortableness.
So
imagine how that girl is feeling.
But
for a
Hatch,
second.
that is like I'm gonna be honest. I'm never gonna drug a woman in my life. I don't ever want that experience. So like, I don't want to think about that. And yes, it does happen. I understand that, but like, it's just it's fucked up to put that on people's Instagram feeds and have it go viral and just like you're scrolling through reels of magic memes and shit, and then all of a sudden it's like, is that woman getting fucking raped right in front of me? Like, Jesus Christ. It's depraved shit that I don't want on my timeline. That's why I also get mad when you send me videos of people dying by gunshots. I don't want to see that.
Oh, I've been relatively pretty good about it.
You've been good, but you have in the past, you know.
That's fine. If I send it, that means I'm like, dude, watch this shit because how crazy it is.
God, you did one to me. I literally woke up to it because I think you sent it the night before, and then I was asleep out here. It was a couple hours ahead, so I woke up and literally it was like 7:30 a.m. and I just watched a man die on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, that's a way to start my day." All right, can only go up from here, I guess.
Hell yeah. God damn, it keeps me grounded, you know, makes me realize that life is fragile.
Grounded.
You know? Take advantage of the opportunities that you have on this earth right now. Be where your feet are. You know?
That's true. And that's why if you see Hatch with a fanny pack, don't fuck with him.
Yep, definitely depends on which fanny pack I'm using sure.
True, but if you see any man that looks like Hatch wearing a fanny pack, there's a gun in there. Just know that.
I cannot confirm nor deny. You know?
Well, that's the thing. Now you gotta play around. You know, are you gonna catch him on the day he doesn't have it, or the day he does have it? You never know.
What's that shit where it's like?
Do you want to play that game?
It's like, if you can see here, when you fuck around, come on over here. You'll find out. You know, I love
and
that.
That's where it's
graph.
at.
Right. So I'll leave it at that. Right. It's just one of those great feelings that goddamn it feels good to be an American.
God, you just reminded me of Freddie. I miss our Freddie so much, man. He was so great in the tank, bro. But that was his thing. His coast is like sign that he picked up was he would just scream out like "fuck around and find out," and then end it with "and that's where it's at." It's so stupid.
Hell yeah!
Can you imagine him with Frank Castle? We didn't get that matchup.
Frank did interview him, but he was out of the tank, Frank. So like he was, you know, he was more kind of a normal guy. But man, that would have been brutal for like Freddie and Durench is probably who he would have gone after the most.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Oh my god, I could see Freddie obviously wanting to fight him. Durench,
it would have broken her probably.
Yeah. I'm thinking she put up a fight of not quitting, but I could see her quitting.
Being hassled is not something I ever want in my life.
No,
because
okay.
it's literally like it is like 11-year-old bullying tactics, but done perfected by a man. Where like he's not hitting you, he's not doing things to you that are bad, but he's doing all the right things that make you get under his skin. That Boogie now shoots a gun into the air, and like he's just so good at making you fucking hate him.
And to make it worse, like he's so much bigger than everyone else, and like you can't even physically do anything to him if you want to.
And what I do respect about him is whenever people do get physical with him in the tank, he understands it. Like he doesn't, freak out and start swinging on him. He just lets it happen. He's like, all right, I just poured mustard all over you and called you a fat bitch for the last 3.5 hours. Like, I get it. You're gonna swing on me, but
exactly. I pushed you to this point. It's all right.
Yeah,
I'll take my licking.
Like he keeps going though. That's the funny thing. It's not that it ends. It's just that he's like, all right, I'll let you hit me. Like he doesn't physically retaliate ever. And it's, God, he's a. You want to talk about an enigma? There's one right there. Hatch, do you know Frank Castle's back tattoo?
No, I do not.
Oh.
All right, we're gonna pull this up for our boy Hatch real quick.
Got it? Yeah.
It's funny. I actually bought a firework. That was for myself. That was called the Enigma.
Yeah. Did you get a picture of that?
No, I didn't.
All right, I'll send this in the group chat because I don't know if I could put this on the air. But also shout out the subreddit that it instantly gave me because they have already posted it there. Yeah, go look at that, Hatch. That's on this man's back permanently in tattoo ink.
Oh, I have seen this. You sent me. We've talked about this on the podcast before. No bullshit.
We have? Yeah, makes sense then because like Jesus
that is
Christ,
fucking
it's
insane.
It's so It's crazy. It's
That is so, dude. Let me tell you, that is so ugly. Those lines are so dark, bro. To cover that shit up would be an actual mission.
You have to black out your back at that point. Like that's the only
I
way
would
it's ever
definitely
going
say
away.
that.
And like it just looks so shitty too. Like that's the thing. It's not even done well. Like
No, some
It
high
literally
school
looks
kid
like
did
it's
that.
done with like a fucking like shaded with a pencil.
yeah, like the parts that are like colored in. Like the lines look somewhat decent, but yeah, it's just ugh. It's not great. Not great, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to look for it yourself, go look up Frank Hassel's back tattoo. I can't show that one on the show. That will probably for sure get us flagged on YouTube.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Is it
We
okay?
can't talk about 9/11 anymore. Thought we were supposed to never forget.
I think we can talk about that. I just don't think we can show the image that has come from that is on that man's back permanently now,
my
forever.
God. Fucking hate how sensitive people are.
I mean, never forget Building 7, all right?
Yeah. Fuck you,
Building that
Helen
was
Keller.
across the street, not in any way hit by anything and still collapsed on itself. So,
Yeah.
All
I'm just waiting
because
for real high def pictures of a Tomahawk missile hitting the Pentagon instead of a plane. That's what I'm waiting for. That's what I think it was.
well, I mean, we'll never get those because they've been destroyed by this point 100%. But it is just very convenient that the only spot on the Pentagon hit was where sensitive documents were located. That's just a little
look,
convenient.
the terrorists knew. Like,
Yeah, they must have known. This is some Library of Alexandria type shit. I'm telling you. What was in there?
Well,
That we'll never know.
I mean, I hear what you're saying. It's a little bit lower than that,
information
though,
about the
because it
Rashad
was just
structure in
like
there?
USA American information. I don't think it was like global intelligence stuff that we, because like that's one of
problem
the
is I
biggest
can't rule it
theories.
out.
So
I can't rule it out.
do you know Greek fire? Have you ever heard of Greek fire before, Hatch?
Greek fire. Is this like a YouTuber?
No, Greek fire was something that was invented by the Greeks that was essentially napalm, but way before anything like that was ever made or invented. One of the things that humanity was believed to have lost in the Library of Alexandria was how the Greeks made Greek fire, because we still today are not able to replicate it in what the mythology says that it was able to do.
Isn't
I think it's called magic.
it isn't the fuck what's it
Pyromancy.
from? No, Game of Thrones, the fire, wasn't that what that's based off of? Greek fire.
Yeah,
I'm blanking on it.
I can't think of what you're.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I just can't
It's
think of
on
the
the tip
term
of our
for it
tongues, I
either.
know.
Yeah. Fuck. God damn it! Now you got my brain on that. But yeah, no. Greek fire is a very interesting thing. It's like well documented throughout the Greek history that they did have this substance that they were able to burn for hours on end, and was a very powerful thing for them. But it just has been lost to history.
I mean, even
Interesting.
the was it the concrete, the old like Roman concrete or whatever, how they made
Yep.
concrete, it was like self healing as well when it would crack. We don't know how that's made, which is
Sounds like
odd.
alchemy to me.
I mean, it's right there. How can we not backwards engineer it? I don't know.
Yeah, it was their concrete alchemist. He just took care
Yeah,
of it.
if I was a time traveler, I'm going
Wildfire.
there to the Library of
Wildfire,
Alexandria,
yes.
and I'm getting arms full of scrolls, bro. That's it.
But the
first
thing
thing I'm
is, you're going to take those out and then bring them back to the future, and the future is going to be completely different because that information
Yeah.
would have not been lost in the fire then.
You're well. I don't think it would have happened yet because I have the scrolls. I'm the only person with it.
But butterfly effect,
Until I-
man. Maybe the
but until
library
I
was
give
never
up-
burnt down because you took the important information from it, and they realized, oh, we don't have to burn it down anymore. Just saying.
Well, luckily, by the time time travel's a thing, teleportation is going to be in there, so I'm going to teleport myself in the vault, so they never know I was in there.
In the vault? What vault? Like the vault of the Alexandria?
The vault. You're telling me this is a public library that anybody could go to? Hell no. This
It
is a vault.
was.
It's like the Vatican.
Well, the Vatican's real, so.
So was the Library of Alexandria.
I know, I'm joking. Yeah, I don't know. That's always one of those that to me in history, I want to know the answer. Like, there's a
That is
couple
my
moments like
fucking
that.
Roman Empire.
You think about it every day.
Every day.
No, I think about it quite a lot too. But like that, and then like the other one that I'm very curious as to like what actually went down and happened was Hitler's death.
Yeah.
Did he actually kill himself, or was he able to get
body
away?
double for sure, dude. I mean, the guy's been. I'm pretty sure the guy was known to have multiple body doubles.
That's true. And
So why the fuck would this not be a body double?
I think the remains that the Russians gave to us, we like DNA tested, and it was
Yeah, I
like
don't-
three
I don't
different
trust the
dogs.
Russians.
Like it wasn't like even humans, like bones that they gave back to
Red
us.
flag on the play.
Yeah, like
Take two.
there's some sketchy things happen there. So I have a feeling that our boy Hitler was able to go down to Argentina and live out the rest of his life. But again, it's one of those
Absolutely.
things that we'll never fully know the answer to unless you were able to like time travel back to that day and see what happened.
Yeah, like fuck, dude. Like, you time travel to like go in like Hitler's boat. They're like looking around. They're like, why is this one guy got Converse on? You know?
Yeah. The other one that's fascinating to me is, I don't know if you guys have heard the story. I think I've probably talked about it on the show, but the Russian missile silo that was like literally seconds away from launching a nuke towards the United States, and then all of a sudden, all of their electricity and like the whole the station just blacked out and died. What the fuck was that?
So I've actually heard multiple conspiracies on this, where a huge thing that Russia and America are competing in when it comes to like almost like an arms race is the power of EMPs, right? And so I've heard a conspiracy where the U.S. has succeeded in using basically wireless EMP, where they send a signal out and it shuts all their shit down. And they've tried it on small cities, and they ended up trying it on a relatively big city, and they turned their power off for like 30 seconds straight.
But
And
so
they're just, like,
question,
testing
did it like destroy the power infrastructure? Because that's what an EMP does. It's not just that it disables stuff. It's that it literally, if you don't have your thing in like a insulated Faraday cage, the electronics are scrambled and like it doesn't
hard
come
part is-
back.
I don't know all the details on that, but I do know is that they got rid of their power for a decent amount of time, and they were testing to see how much how much the threshold could be.
The theory that I like about the Russian, the missile incident was that, people have like been theorizing that like the aliens, fucked with that. And it's like, it's kind of the theory that like we're a big DNA test tube for someone. And like, they were like, oh no, you guys are about to fucking end everything. Nope, stop. We can't have that happen. Like, get in there. And I do like that theory. I don't know how much, realism there is to it, but I like the, story of that theory.
Dude, big picture of that theory, bro. You guys ever seen the ending of Men in Black?
Yep. The first one?
I think it was the first one, where it ended up being they're playing. It's like zooming out with the galaxy, and it's like the Milky Way, the fucking whatever galaxy. Then all of a sudden, the universe. Then the universe is just a marble that these ginormous aliens are playing marbles with. It's like, how the fuck do we know that's not us right now?
Could be.
We don't.
I don't know. Dude, my mind like hurts.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, and like, there's just so many crazy things in the universe. Like, there's that huge black hole that we've been, I forget its name, but it's the biggest black hole that humans have ever discovered. And it's like
the one where the girl took a photo in like 2019, I think.
Maybe. I'm not fully sure about that. But the biggest thing that come from it is like, it's like 7 million light years away from us, which means we are seeing how big it was 7 million years ago. That's kind of terrifying to think about.
Yes.
Like,
because it's like,
what the fuck is that thing? It's like Galactus at this point.
I agree. The one thing to like kind of compare that to where it's like, okay, like with the sun. So we're seeing the sun 8 seconds ago, right? By the time it takes 8 seconds for the sun's rays to get to Earth, right?
And that's at light speed.
By the time the sun's exactly, and that's light speed, and it takes 8 seconds for the sun to get to Earth. Imagine how powerful that black hole is if we're able to even see it.
Well, seeing it's one thing, but like it's already the biggest, observed black hole we've ever seen, and that's what it, again, that's what it looked like 7 million years ago. It's been growing in space. That's what black holes do. They, have a gravitational pull that brings in things around them, and then you just disappear into nothing. That's like our only theory of what happens when you go into a black hole. It's fucking terrifying, dude.
What if you go into a black hole and it's like a whole new, like, what if that is like the start of civilization?
I mean, it's
like Earth eventually went through a black hole and now spit out the other side.
It's theorized that it can lead into a wormhole, but we don't know.
We don't know, and we probably will never know.
Wormholes are also a crazy theory too, because it's essentially like what we think they are is 2 points in space that have come together and are essentially making, like, you know, for lack of a better terms, like a canal or something. So like now these 2 points in space, you're able to get to a lot quicker. I don't know the reasons why. I'm guessing it's probably something due to gravitational pull or something like that. But dude, it's scary. When you think about things that big, it gets scary.
What reminds me kind of like of that, where it's like a wormhole. Okay, like in Finding Nemo, where the turtles are going in that fucking canal. You know what I'm saying? Just like what you're saying.
The current?
Yep.
Right, the current.
Okay.
Right? The current. Thank you. I'm thinking space terms, buddy. I don't know. Right? So I'm thinking,
what's the name for it they call it? I can't think of it right now.
Imagine, like, what would happen if you're going through a wormhole and you don't go out the other end, you just go out the side? Do you explode? Does matter cease to exist? Like, I have so many questions. We need to get Neil deGrasse Tyson on here, because I need to ask him.
There's no way we're getting Black Science Man on this show. But do we, you know, do you just become like the Interstellar and you are now looking through the bookcase at like all of your, you know, life that's going on around you? I don't know. That could be it.
Fuck. You know, that is truly the
I will say
sacrifice.
The stupidest thing about Interstellar, the fourth dimension is love. God damn it, you had such a good run up until then, and then that's when you kind of lost me with that movie. It's still an amazing movie, but god damn. It's not even that it's gay, it's just that's not what the fourth dimension would be.
There's nothing
But even thinking about fourth dimensions breaks my brain. Because, like, you know, people talk about it, like, we see things in 3 dimensions. What would that fourth dimension be? Is it like time? Is it just, you know, seeing things on different levels? Like, dude, I'm not smart enough to talk about this shit, but every time I hear someone smart do, it's scary to think about.
The only thing that seeing the depiction of that was kind of cool, right? Because again, we have no other concept of the fourth dimension, but why and how did he end up being in that situation or that moment with the bookshelf? Right? Why?
I mean, I don't know the movie well enough to give that either. Yeah,
understand. Like I felt like I was never described or said, like, does he have to do something with his mind? I don't know. It was because as he's passing, like, I thought looked like that was the only thing that was passing him. He was passing. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, and the whole thing is like he goes into a black hole, and it's like trying to theorize like what happens when a person does that. And then I do love, like, you know, at the end of the movie, he's like, yeah, you're on Cooper Station. And he's like, oh, you guys named it after me? And he's like, no, we named it after your daughter. Like, fuck you did nothing.
Fucking faggot.
Fuck, dude. Oh, my God.
It's a great little bit. Hey, another movie composed by Hans Zimmer. So there you go. That's our callback. Circle it up. Put a nice bow on it. Boom. We did it, boys.
Boom. Love the bow.
That's going to be episode 154. But before we get to the end, we got 2 things we got to do that we do every week. One is the cool guy of the week. So, Brandon, who's this guy's cool guy of the week?
Look, I do have a cool guy of the week. I'm going to talk about my not cool guy of the week first. And I came up with him early on in this episode. Made me look like a fucking retard. Whoever made that goddamn Scarlett Johansson thing that I bought hook, line, and sinker. All right, so
man's mad at AI, bro.
Fuck you, dude.
Tier Reddit.
Man's mad at AI. Good luck.
Jesus. And cool guy of the week is Hatch. All right, Hatch, you're my cool guy of the week.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We fought the fires together.
Nice.
And it was so, like, cool, calm, and collected. I wish we recorded it, because it just how calm you were coming up, and I'm like, you know, thought everything was fine, and just the immediate like seriousness, panic of like, my fucking house, my fucking neighbor's house is on fire. You know, it was, all right, cool, all right, time to act. You know, but yeah, Hatch.
I think this just shows you guys have been in numerous gunfights together. You work well as a team. You know, there's no chaos, there's no craziness. You guys know your action plan. You know your jobs. You just got to do your job.
It's a trust, you know. It's like I know I can walk up to him and be like, dude, like, come outside. No context. He'll be out there ready at the drop of a hat for whatever the fucking situation is. He was ready to go, hey, Hatch needs some help picking up the chairs. No, there's a fucking fire.
I more so
Nobody
wish
at my-
now
dude,
that
my
like
mom
it
doesn't
was.
even fucking know there was a fire.
I more so wish now that it
Nobody
was like.
knows.
I hear you. I more so wish now that it was like you were getting jumped by a group of guys. Like that would have been hilarious because Brandon's just like, oh yeah, okay, we'll come outside. We're fighting? Oh god, all right.
The
Just,
fire
like,
was attacking
jumping
me.
into it.
The fire was attacking me. Of course I had
The
to.
fire was shooting at us. That's an
So I
office
had to.
joke.
I had to freaking jump into action and fight the fire.
Fight fire with fire. I love that.
Hit it with a fucking bob weave fucking right hook.
All right,
Fire
well,
was out.
Hatch, this is your first time ever being nominated as Cool Guy of the Week, so there you go, brother.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Feels good. Feels
Only
good.
took
You guys ready for the-
130 episodes for this man to do that.
No, I'm actually dead ass. I'm pretty sure I was cool guy of the week before when Callie died.
Were you?
Dead ass. I'm
Maybe.
pretty sure we can go check.
Brando, you can't
But,
keep repeating Cool Guys of the Week, man. Come on.
Damn it!
Hey,
the
no,
only
we've
thing that you have to
we've
pre-produce
repeated
for
Cool
this
Guys
show.
Before.
Have we?
We've for sure repeated Cool Guys for sure. I guarantee it.
Have
No, I
we?
don't think-
I
think
will
so.
guarantee it.
I don't.
I will guarantee it.
I believe the Hatch one, but Brandon's been pretty good about having a unique Cool Guy of the Week.
We've probably had it like with a guy in the paintball community that has been a cool guy of the week early on and then later. I guarantee it.
Someone do the research.
I think he's making shit up now.
For me.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go
FTS
ahead.
historian, you're needed in the comments below.
Yeah.
I know there's a couple of you guys out there.
Yep, we need you guys to jump into action.
Mike
and
Ryan,
tell me I'm
Christopher
right.
Struck. Please tell me.
Yeah, we've forgotten ourselves. I actually got Christopher Struck's code word of the week as we were recording this podcast. So shout out to you, buddy.
Fuck yeah.
So speaking of, we need a code word of the week for this week. What's that going to be, Hatch?
Check this one out, boys. Bring the heat. I don't know if you guys can see that, but just bring the motherfucking heat.
I full screened
we had
you,
to
it's
put
all
out
good.
the fire, right? We had to put out the fire. Feels good, right? I wasn't trying to make a play on fucking Houston Heat. You know what I'm saying? We are the Heat. You know, putting it out. So feels good to make sure everybody's safe. You know, jumped into action and.
Okay,
shit,
you can
kid.
stop blowing
Take care of
yourself. You did it. Congratulations. Good for you.
Damn, dude. Don't worry, Ryan. Maybe you'll put out a fire.
I've put
Maybe-
out
maybe
fires
next
before
week.
in my life. I don't know
Maybe
about
next
as
week.
big as you guys, but I've definitely peed on some campfires before. It's a satisfying feeling. All right,
Basically
boys.
the same thing.
Yeah, 100%. Let's wrap this up. Just want to remind everyone, make sure you go ahead and rate the show, subscribe on whatever platform you're on. Seriously, rating takes like 10 seconds to do. Get a little 5-star down there. Helps us out a lot. Puts us up in the algorithm, and yeah, so please do so. The other thing, Patreon, like we mentioned before, giving away stuff for this month as we are, every month now, thanks to our partners at Hormesis. So go get signed up. Get a great chance to win some cool products. You also get ad-free versions of the show. You get to hear it early before everyone else. Audio goes up an hour after we finish recording. You guys can listen to the show on the Tuesday night we do it if you really want to. So yeah, go check out patreon.com/Mafia_Productions. And then last but not least, quick reminder of our sponsors, NECTR Energy, NECTR.energy. Yeah, cool little product. Go ahead over there. Mafia Productions at their website, all one word. That's going to get you a buy two, get one free. Code FTS at weltsclothing.com. Make sure you stay tuned for the next Welts Wednesday drop. They've been dropping some heaters so far this month, so you don't want to miss out. They do go by fast. Code FTS at checkout over there. And then last but not least, Hormesis Paintball. Shout out to Hormesis Paintball. Go check out their website, hormesispaintball.com. Go watch something not all that matters, that Hormesis Productions has made. And yeah, they just did their Finland 1v1. That was pretty cool to see. They're doing events all over the world right now, so thank you, Hormesis.
Awesome.
Appreciate your support. All right,
guys.
boys. Well, let's call this a show here. This has been episode 154. We're going to go head on over into the post show. So if you guys want to go join us for that, head over to the Patreon and we'll see you there. But without further ado, Hatch, or actually, real quick, for Brandon Brando, Baird, for Stephen Hatch, my name is Ryan Mafia Moffat. I almost forgot the outro. Hatch, do that thing you do.
Bye.
We'll see you guys on the next one.